I was muted. I am live. Oh my god. It's been 24 years. No, it's not. It's been literally 24 hours. Good afternoon, everybody. We are live. And we are going to be reading some neckbeard stories. That means that it is a cringe fest today. I hope I'm not too loud. I changed where my microphone is coming from. My god, my model is freaking out. We are also on Discord. Well, hey Connor, how you doing? Ready for the cringe? I'm ready for the cringe. Cringe. So, let us get into the cringe. I'm going to unmute Reika. All right, I am back. Are you ready for the cringe? All right. So this one is the neckbeard roommate. Oh, my printer's about to go off. Wait for it. It's gonna sing to me in a second. Wait for it. There it is. I love how my printer sings to me when it's finished. All right, we're gonna start out with a couple of short ones here. I'm reading these blind, so if these are lame, then we won't read part. If this one's lame, then we won't read part 2. But this one's actually not very well reviewed. So you know what? All right, we're gonna read this one, The Tale of Army Beard. Army Beard. I think I might have read this one before. Hey Ellen VTuber, how are you doing? Welcome to the chat. I am not ready, so let's do it. It's very much in right ear. That's weird. Huh. Maybe I just adjust things a little. Hold on. There's a little reverb. I think that's just my microphone. Maybe I've got a filter. Do I have a filter on my... No, I don't have a filter. That's weird. Yeah, I noticed that my microphone does go over to one ear a little bit more. I'll adjust that in post. She's always shook. Yeah. Oh, no, my Shadow's saying my microphone's too close. So is that a little better, Shadow? I can't really test the levels. But I am good. So we're going to read The Tale of Army Beard. So The Tale of Army Beard by Elon Muskrat 143. Back when... I know. A lot of these usually are throwaway accounts, or they just create the account just for the posting purposes. Yeah, Shadow can hear me from the other room, so she doesn't actually need to be in the chat. So yes, Shadow will probably lurk in my chat. All right, gamer sups. Hold on. Make sure the ice is out of my mouth. Back when I was in the army, there was a fellow I worked with in my platoon, and for the sake of privacy, I will address him as Army Beard. Even though he didn't have a neck beard because the army has grooming standards for soldiers, he definitely emboldened the neckbeard spirit. As one of my favorite YouTubers always has said, it's the beard on the inside that counts. He wasn't blatantly a bad person, he just didn't understand things, like social cues, and quite frankly didn't have common sense. Common sense is not as common as people think it is, to be perfectly honest. Like, yeah. Alright, not to be mean, but he simply didn't belong in the military. It's not a job for everyone because it requires things like discipline, physical fitness, and a sense of responsibility, all of which are things I do not have. Oh, all of which he was lacking. I forgot to finish the sentence. He was overweight, late all the time, and really just didn't care about his job, and in the military, these things can get someone killed. Yes, they can. The weird thing is that even though he didn't like being in the army and the only thing he wore was grunt-style clothing... Oh, and... Sorry. The weird thing is he didn't even like being in the army and the only thing he wore was grunt-style clothing. It was like even though he hated being in the army and was absolutely miserable, he still wanted to show off how he was a service member. By the way, punctuation is a thing, people. Please put proper punctuation in. My leadership tried for well over a year to set him straight, but despite their efforts, nothing worked. Being patient with him never worked. Nitpicking his every move until he got better never worked. It came to the point where a lot of people thought my platoon was bullying him, which was simply not the case. Give me 1 second here. I have a... yeah. Oh, it's just my... Whoops. We never singled him out, called him mean names, or were physically violent towards him. He was just a walking r/army post and was honestly incredible. There are so many stories about him that I wish I could tell, but not even this Reddit post could contain them. I will stick with the most memorable ones. Cast of characters. Me, OP, Army Beard, my good friends / co-workers Nathan, Jonathan, Sergeant, SGT, Brady, Sergeant Rivers, AB's direct supervisor, Army Beards, Sergeant First Class Gonzalez, and First Lieutenant Warner. So I will attempt to remember who these people are as we read the story, but no promises. I first met Army Beard about 8 months into my time at my second duty station. He arrived to my unit coming from Korea, and at first he didn't really seem like a bad guy, but it didn't really take long for us to see what kind of person he truly was. AB arrived 2 months to my unit before we were deploying to Eastern Europe, and we were quite busy packing up all our equipment and prepping our vehicles to be shipped overseas. Obviously, this guy's in a mechanized unit. Oftentimes we worked over the weekends. We were that busy because we spent a lot of time around AB. Before he really told anything about himself to my platoon, he told us about his fiancée he met on Tinder 4 months before then, who happened to be just an hour away from home in West Virginia. Keep that in mind. AB just got back to the States 2 weeks before this, and really only has seen her in person once, maybe twice, and yet he had already decided to marry her. Oh, there's the red flag. Another red flag is she has 4 kids, each from a different guy, and since soldiers are guaranteed things like a paycheck, free healthcare, free housing, and free food, I would not be surprised if she just wanted to marry him for these reasons. Oh boy. Outside the military, I wouldn't have cared so much, but in the military, you have to make sure your soldiers meet their needs, are not in debt, and are taking care of themselves. If AB decided to claim her children as his own, she decided to divorce him, he would be spending over half his monthly income on child support. His fiancée... This is why you got to think things through when you get married, especially if you're marrying somebody who's got previous relationships. That's where I was getting at. His fiancée simply has not proven herself to be a loyal person, and we worried about him, but unfortunately it's not legal in the military to force your subordinates not to marry someone. I love how you had to make that point. You might think that there is still a chance that she loved AB, but I can assure you she didn't. You might think that there's still a chance that she loved AB, but I can assure you she didn't. She avoided nearly every single opportunity to come out and see him and made no plans to move in with him even after getting married. Oh, we got a gold digger! Gold digger! When my unit was being deployed to Eastern Europe, she didn't even come to the goodbye ceremony. And when we came back, she missed the welcome back celebration because she was at Walmart with her kids shopping for a mattress. Wow, that's a weak fucking excuse. Oh man, this poor guy. When we wanted her to come over for Halloween, she said no because of holiday traffic. Right. I mean, yeah, that could be a thing too, honestly. It does get a little weird on Halloween. The scary thing is, he wouldn't even question these things. He would just go along with all these obvious red flags like they were no issue at all. If AB was the love of her life, then why did she miss all these opportunities to spend time with him? I honestly felt pretty bad for him. Sure, she has caused a lot of embarrassment for my platoon for things I will explain later in this post, but these things didn't warrant someone to take advantage of him and his money. He told pretty much everybody he met around her. He told pretty much everybody he met about her and would never pick up on the fact that pretty much nobody cared about how they thought it was weird that she was marrying a girl he met only twice. Oh, thanks for the follow, Nerf Striker. I really appreciate it. We're one more person closer to getting to that 50 follower count that we need. Hello. I hope you're enjoying so far the crazy neckbeard bullshit that we're reading. This one's a little bit of a lower key story. This one, we're saving a really good one for a little bit later in the stream. Oh, hey, Sin. Okay, so where were we? Yeah. And sure enough, AB married her the day my unit was being sent overseas thousands of miles away for 9 months. All my platoon could do then was teach him how to be a husband and father. This was soon found out to be a very difficult task. Oh boy. Roughly 3 weeks after my unit arrived to Europe, all of our gear and personal items we didn't bring with us on the plane arrived in shipping containers. While my platoon and I was unpacking our stuff near our bunks, we soon discover AB brought 2 fleshlights with him, and we were all baffled as to why he brought not only one, but 2 of them. We were staying in a giant tent, and there was no way he could do his business without getting caught. Yes, we were staying in a tent, but it was more comfortable than it sounds. It was well insulated and had 2 big generators for AC and heating. Ooh, hold on. Oh, hold on a second here. I'll address that later. So yeah, these are nice fancy tents. I've been in tents like that. They're awesome. They're the big thick army tents that take days to set up because they're so bloody heavy. It wasn't that bad, to be honest. Anyways, to get back on topic, after we found out he brought 2 fleshlights, we of course asked him why he brought them. Sergeant First Class Gonzalez, why the hell would you bring those, and why the fuck do you have 2? You know you can't jerk off in the wide open in the tent, right? It's because they were buy one, get one free, Sergeant First Class. I actually tried to give one to someone else, but I couldn't find anyone to give it to. Why them being buy one, get one free still doesn't explain why you brought 2. You could have just brought one and been fine, and why would you offer one to someone else? How would they know if you didn't use it before? Oh, just the... Sorry. So crusty. I brought them both because they were buy one, get one free. You're clearly not listening to me. You know what? Just go about your business. I can't deal with this bullshit. Flash forward to a couple months later, while we were in Europe, my platoon, specifically Sergeant First Class Gonzalez, Sergeant Brady, and Jonathan, was checking up on him and making sure he was trying to improve himself as a husband and father. These are good guys. Like they could have just said, you know what? None of my fucking business. It's like, none of my fucking business. You do you, boo. I ain't gonna deal with this bullshit. These guys are actually like, yo, you gotta take care of them kids. So, it's a good guy. These are good guys. This guy, though, sounds like he's a bit of a twat waffle. Um, yeah. I mean, we already established that right in the beginning there that he's a twat waffle. Um, Sergeant Brady. AB, have you done your research on how to be a father and increase your parenting skills? No, Sergeant. I haven't had any time. Don't fucking lie to me. What do you mean you haven't had time? All you do all day is sit on your bunk and watch Naruto. Are you not you are not a single soldier You are not a single soldier anymore. You need to take this seriously because you have 5 people who depend on you. You can't just sit on your ass and expect things to work themselves out. Even though you have a wife to help out, you can't expect her to do all the work. It's true. Like, even though you're not home, you gotta still be good daddy. I mean, the least he could do is, call it. I'm not a military kid. I wasn't in the military. I tried, but I got flat feet and bad eyes, so I couldn't join the Army or the Air Force, and honestly, I didn't want to join the Navy. I'm too dumb to join the Navy. I wanted to be a pilot. I don't want to be a pilot, but I had bad eyes, and then it's like, okay, I could join the Army. Oh, flat feet, no bueno. Plus, I had back problems and I was overweight, and they're just like, yeah, you probably wouldn't do well. This is the Canadian military too. They're like, haha, get out. I mean, they weren't really. Now I would probably be able to get in if I was old enough, if I was young enough, but yeah. Anyways, yeah, okay. Army Beard. Yes, Sergeant, but I don't even know where to look. Sergeant Brady. AB, you cannot be serious right now. You can find all this shit on the internet. You're 23 years old, and you know you are more than capable of doing simple research. You have me, Jonathan, and Sergeant Gonzalez, who have kids of our own. If your wife comes out and tells the Army that you are incapable of being a father and not providing for them, you can get in serious trouble. If you love your kids, you need to start showing it. Actually, you know what? What are their birthdays? It's a Cass. Hello, Cass. We're reading neckbeard stories. Or I am. Reika's drawing. Oh, these are great. This one's not too bad. This one just seems like he's kind of an asshole. But there's more of this guy. All right. Where were we? This one really stumped AB, and it was quite incredible to see. Every day he talked about how much he loved his kids and how he couldn't wait to see them when he got back, but yet he didn't even know their birthdays. It was honestly really pathetic. You think he would be motivated? You think this would have motivated him to do better, but it really didn't. Yeah, this guy, it's not hard to remember birthdays, like, especially if they're your kids. Yeah. It's like, you know what? If you have trouble remembering dates, just write them down. Put them in your phone's calendar. Or put them in your personal calendar or whatever you're allowed to have in the Army. Because I don't know if they're allowed to have phones while they're deployed. Anyways, about a week later after this, AB really wanted to show how much of a leader he could be so he could get promoted. Sergeant Gonzalez, Sergeant Rivers, and Sergeant Brady decided to throw him a bone and give him a chance. To do this, they gave him simple tasks to show off his leadership skills, and he would be put in charge of me, Jonathan, and Nathan. Despite being given super easy tasks that even the newest soldier could figure out, he would fail very hard every single time. He would often just ask us for help and pretty much left us to figure everything out for him ourselves and take all the credit. Even when given the task of bringing the platoon's laptop to the unit's IT guys, he failed drastically. He was told that morning to bring the laptops by 1 p.m., but he fell asleep and lost track of time. How the fuck did this guy not get a dishonorable discharge by now? Or fines or whatever? Like, holy shit. Like, I'm sorry, like, I know people who have been in the Canadian Army, this shit would not fly. Especially on deployment. I'm sorry to say, but like shit. Sergeant Brady, AB, why the fuck are you sleeping right now? My bad, Sergeant. I overslept. Yeah, doofus, I can fucking see that. Why the hell didn't you bring our laptop to the IT guys? Every time I give you a simple task, you somehow manage to fail. No excuses, Sergeant. I'm really not in the mood for that right now, AB. If you can't even do this, then how do we know you have the ability to take care of a family? Stop playing around. We're going to give you one last chance to show your leadership. You're going to give a class on the M249 machine gun to the platoon, since you, OP, and Nathan have to qualify with it next week. If you can't do that, we will continue to give you, or if you can do that, will continue to give you opportunities to show your leadership skills. A few days later, he gave this class, and it was honestly quite horrible. He pretty much just copy and pasted things from the weapons training manual into his PowerPoint. He obviously had no clue what he was talking about, and his class was super boring. Half of the time, Lieutenant Warner, the officer in charge of the platoon at the time, was the one teaching it and was showing the proper firing positions. So I'm going to leave a little, as somebody who has given many the presentation in his life, especially to peers and potential leadership, copy and pasting from like a manual isn't exactly a bad thing. Especially if it's really basic information, but you have to know the information. You have to actually, you can't just be like, okay, slide 1 reads the slide, slide 2 reads the slide. You have to actually talk. The slides are there to amplify your presentation, not to like actually like supplement it. And it's a really hard thing that you have to learn when giving presentations. By the way, if anybody's going to Vancouver, I'm going to be doing 2 panels. One of them is on simple website building, so opening a store. And what was the other one? The other one was marketing yourself. So social media, design stuff. And things like. Yeah, you really have to find your audience's time of day. But back to the post. We're almost done. We're almost done this first post, and we'll take a little breather after this to let your chat catch up here. Okay. Flash forward to next week. Our platoon went on a 2-hour drive to the shooting range my unit was hosting with the M249 range. Oh, sorry. I misread that. Flash forward to next week. Our platoon went on a 2-hour drive to the shooting range my unit was hosting. This is just badly written. Okay. 2-hour drive to the shooting range my unit was hosting, the M249 range. After we downloaded our weapons and ammo, got everything prepped, and the range went live. And it just so happened that I was assigned to be AB's target spotter. I believe the M249 is a 30 caliber high rate machine gun that is supposed to be bipod mounted if anybody's a gun nut. Yeah. When AB was getting his ammo ready to start shooting, he decided to pull the trigger as he was loading the rounds into his weapon, causing it to spray 4 to 5 rounds into the ground 2 feet away from my foot. Oh! Bro! Huh. I'm wondering if Zakumas, I'm wondering if this person used like AI to generate the story. Not make it up, like not generate it, but maybe used it to rewrite it because they weren't confident with their writing. But Jesus. Despite nearly having my foot blown off, I started laughing my ass off. What the frickin' fuck? Why did you start firing like that? Sergeant Rivers, AB, stop swearing at the gun and get off the range. No. AB went off to talk to Sergeant Rivers and Sergeant Brady, and while I didn't hear exactly what they said, I do know that they told him that he was not allowed to handle any weapon for a very long time, and to stop talking about it with everyone, further embarrassing himself. Wow. So that's the end of the first part there. I'm just this guy. It's just such a doofus. Like, oh my god. Like, how? Yeah. I'm like kind of looking at it like, if he's gotten through training, and they've already put him into a platoon, I imagine he would just be reprimanded. And like the things like he's doing, like they're obviously not going to ever promote him. Like the dude will not get past private first class. Like dude can't lead a fucking fish to water, you know? Like, oh, Soggy Gremlin, I'm glad you love Stank, because we're going to be reading. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Canadian dollar is. Cass, I don't know what happened December 21st. I'm confused. But we're gonna some people are complete idiots. Yes. Some people are absolute complete fucking idiots. Oh. Yeah. Sounds like. Yeah. I know, I'm the same way. So I do charge. For me, I charge in Canadian dollars as well. So anybody wants to commission me, I am also an artiste. If you want to do the commissions, I'm slightly cheaper than Reika. I draw boobies. December 21st is when my Virgin Mary got pregnant. That's somebody in my chat. Mike is shilling. Yes, I am. Yeah, if I was some rando who just started posting about their shit in your chat, that's one thing. But I have friend privilege. So, for those... you snore. One of the great things about our dollar being weaker is it does increase tourism, which actually increases our economy. So, like, if we have a weaker dollar, more Americans come to Canada for vacations, and it actually increases our economy, especially here in British Columbia. I would love a commission from you, Mike, but I don't have any money at the moment, sadly. That's okay, Connor. You just gotta, if you join my Discord, you'll see when I have commissions open, if they're closed. Anytime you don't have free art redeem. Once I can have redeems. Yeah. So you need. Yeah, I need 13 more followers and more people per stream. But yes, okay. We have. Oh, great. Have a good nap. Oh, good, Connor. That's great to hear. I'm glad you have joined us. So, who's ready for Sir Todd the Garlic, Part 2? So yesterday, I don't know if you were listening yesterday, Reika, but we read the first part of Sir Todd, the Denim Knight. The gist of it is the OP is he works in a hospital. I'm assuming as some kind of administrator. They hired a gentleman named Todd. And Todd is a beast of a man who has the distinct smell of garlic all over him and body odor. So he's like one of those. So we'll read. They have a cast. They have a cast list, so we'll be getting to that in just a second. But yeah, he was your stereotypical stinky neckbeard. Apparently he was one of the. Apparently he stank up the room he was put in, and the hallway, and then he also decided to creep on some nurses. And as somebody who is the son of a nurse, you don't creep on the nurses. No, though. So my mother is a 5'0". When she was working as a nurse, she was maybe 5'0". You know, she's a little shorter now. She's actually like 4'11" now. She has shrunk a little bit, but she's short. And at the time, she was maybe 140 pounds, but she could lift a 220-pound dude off the floor and onto a gurney by herself. She was also a black belt. She's also a black belt in judo, and could crack your ribs giving you CPR, even if she had to use a stool. Yeah, she actually did break a guy's ribs once giving him CPR. She felt really bad about it, but the guy lived. I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming so. Well, you know what? We need to get some medical horror stories going from my mom. I mean, tales from the emergency room. We got to get some of those going too, because my mom's told me a few. There was the one before we get into the Sir Todd story. I'm gonna tell a little personal story here, and it's back in the so my mom worked through the AIDS crisis, like the heroin crisis and into the AIDS crisis. My mom was a nurse during the 80s and early 90s, specifically, and HIV, AIDS was a big problem, but also so were people doing needle drugs. You know, needle drugs are less common nowadays because things like fentanyl and oxycodone are quite a lot more common for opiates, and of course meth is quite prominent nowadays as well. And those are taken orally usually or up the nose. But back in that day, she was telling me about this one guy, and you remember how you used to tell me a story about the guy who was like really stinky? Reika? I think that was you. He was like the guy in the hospital and he always kind of smelled. Yeah, stinky feet. So this guy came into the emergency room. He was homeless. And they went to remove his boots because they were undressing him. And it wasn't so much stinky feet as his feet had fused to his socks. Because he said he hadn't taken his boots off in over 2 years. He was homeless and he was a drug addict, right? But he was also they had to surgically remove his socks from his feet. So his feet he had such bad trench foot. They actually unfortunately ended up having to amputate both his feet. But my mom, you know what? One of these days we're gonna read the story "The Swamps of Dagobah," because my mom read that story and she's like, "Oh yeah, that's exactly what this dude's feet smelled like." Like just the if you are brave enough, look up the Reddit story "The Swamps of Dagobah." It is a story about a person with a rectal abscess. If you know what an abscess is, it is just like it is full of poos. But yeah, did you have to clean up the mess? Oh yeah, they have a special team that comes and cleans up all the biohazard stuff. You guys just come in afterwards and sanitize it and clean up all the basic shit. Yeah, my mom. See, back in the day at St. Paul's Hospital, they used to have the nurses used to be the ones who had to clean up all the biohazard stuff. Yeah, But she saw the bit about the peppermint oil, and she's like, peppermint oil? We just like straight up slather Vicks Vapor Rub all over our faces. That's well, I mean, Vicks Vapor Rub has. Oh, no, but yeah, this poor guy, they basically tried to remove his socks, and the skin came with it, and then the last one I'm gonna tell is the story she told me about Rattlesnake Pete, as she calls him. Rattlesnake Pete was he was a herpetologist. So he was a guy who studied and raised snakes and other reptiles, and he had a western diamondback rattlesnake in his collection, and he got bit on the leg, in his calf, and decided that, well, I'm not dead after about 2 hours, so I'm just going to ignore it. 5 days later, he comes into the hospital, and his leg is basically rotting away, because one of the things that rattlesnake venom does is it destroys your cells. It's called a necrotoxin. It basically causes your cells to burst. Yes, it is. Hi, Matt. I'm telling stories from the emergency room from my mom. My mom was a trauma nurse at St. Paul's Hospital for over 15 years. She worked trauma. Oh, you just missed the story. That was the end of the story about Rattlesnake Pete. There was my mom also had her own version of Stinky Feet, where the guy hadn't taken his boots off in over 2 years, and his socks had fused to his skin. Unfortunately, because he was immunocompromised due to HIV, they had to amputate his feet because they were gangrenous. But Matt, would you like to tell a story before I start the tale of Sir Todd Part 2? Oh no, it's fine. Oh yes, go ahead. Yes. Oh shit. Oh my god. Oh yeah, they had to yeah, because they need to get it as small as possible. Yeah. I mean they. I mean, he might have like wiped out or something like that, or yeah. Was he on like a motorcycle and fell into some bushes or something like that? Yeah. Like I have a very slight scar on one of my shoulders where I had a broken tree branch, like not quite like impale my shoulder, but like just go almost like went into the skin, but like not like stay in there. It was just like it only went like just past the skin barrier there. It just left like a nice little hole. It didn't need it. Funny enough, it wasn't big enough to need stitches. It was just this little branch. I fell into some like freshly cut like bushes when I was mountain biking, and yeah, it went shink. You've been stabbed. Yep. All right. Ho! Ho! Oh God, I love that joke. Oh, it's funny because it's fine. I always make fun of one of my friends because he's got like the New York Brooklyn accent, and they say axe instead of ask. So I always like, but I always used to do that in like GTA 5. I'd be like go up to people with like the hand axe and be like, "I'd like to axe you a question, shank." God, axe to the head. Oh, was it like an axe or a hatchet? Was it a small axe or a big one? I certainly hope so. hey, hey, why do I smell metal? Okay, sorry, Kit. Oh God. I guess I guess it's real hard. I guess it's real hard to get for him to get ahead in life. Any screw. Let's read the tale of Sir Todd. Part 2. A Rose by Any Other Name is the subtitle. By Rookie Raccoon 17. I nearly died while walking home from school because a large tree branch once made me jump as it landed right in front of me. Ooh, that would have hurt. I once wiped out on my bike coming down a hill once, and because of how steep it was, I slid like down the hill, and I had road rash on my right hand from my wrist all the way up to my neck. And if I hadn't been wearing a helmet, I would have died. Because I went head. Oh, ooh! It's snur outside. Holy shit. Okay. Tale of Sir Todd, Part 2. Thank you, everyone, for your support and feedback from this story. I have many months' worth of stories from our wonderful friend Todd. Some have brought up the question how Todd was able to get this job even with having poor hygiene. In short, the majority of the hiring process done with our company is done virtually, and there is very little in-person interaction prior to orientation and training. Now, I can only assume whomever did the on-campus interview had lost all sense of smell. But somehow Todd passed the smell test initially. You know what? Sometimes people will clean themselves up and then they'll just not. I would also like to mention that, yes, I have been rude to Todd on many occasions, and I could easily be considered an asshole for treating him the way I have in the past. But personal hygiene is one of my pet peeves, and I struggle quite a bit when I work with others who do not take pride in their appearance or personal well-being. Fair enough. I mean, my personal thing is don't be stinky. Don't be stinky. Oh God, I could tell you some fucking stories about conventions. Jesus fucking Christ. If you're at a convention, 621. 6 hours of sleep. Oh, I went to. Yes. Especially. Yes. I don't usually follow that when I'm at home. I usually shower like once every second day because I get really. Well, I don't. I don't sweat a lot, and I have that weird gene where I don't really get body odor. So it's more just like, and I also get really bad like dry skin if I shower every day. But if I'm out working out and like I'm getting all sweaty and nasty and everything, yeah, I'm going to shower every day. When I was working in a kitchen, I showered every day. When I was working outside, god damn did I shower every day. Sometimes twice a day. I know. But if I'm at a con, I'm showering every morning before I start going out and doing stuff. It's just I'm being around people, I'm walking around, I'm getting sweaty, I'm fursuiting, or I'm like in the dealer's den and the dealer's den oftentimes is either too cold or too hot or both. No, there isn't. What the heck? It's either like, especially like at VF, they'll like open the doors to let, like, remember when we were in the room at, or the Howl, remember at Howl? It wasn't this year because we actually figured out how to turn the AC on, but the first year we were in that room, which I think was last year, remember how hot it got, and then we had to open the doors, and then everybody's like, it's too cold! So we would like, yes. Okay, so back to Sir Todd. Where are we? With that being said, I do not go out of my way to be mean to Todd, but simply put, I have a quick tongue and a gift for making colorful insults when given the chance to let loose. I usually, oh, what the fuck? I have a quick tongue and a gift for insults that when given the chance to let loose, I usually use the opportunity. There we go. Though, about me being a dick, let's continue on to our next story. As always, I do realize my story can be categorized as a neckbeard story, hence the subreddit it's in. But I see it as a 50-50 toss-up, so I'll let you, the audience, decide. Well, that's nice, because the last story he posted was definitely a neckbeard story. As you take your seats on this fine evening, please select your finest prelude music as I set the stage and introduce the characters of our show. I do ask you to hold your applause, gasps, cries, and shouts of excitement till we've reached our end, as we wish for the characters to remain focused on their roles. That's funny. Names have been changed to protect identities. Ages of the cast range from late teens to early 30s. Majority of these stories take place while working at a hospital during no patients will ever be mentioned. Names of company, name, and hospital, state, or city will be mentioned or will not be mentioned to protect the privacy and avoid any issues. The cast: Steve, friendly giant from the land down under, standing 6'3" and 350 pounds of muscle. He is truly a giant to behold and one of my best friends. He has a good heart, but has the skill set matching Liam Neeson from Taken and is happy to put that to use when given the chance. Nice. Calvin, my best friend for years. We used to work together, but unfortunately they have moved across the country to the East Coast, so their role is more of a supporting character, hilarious and highly offensive to some people, mainly because Calvin believes in being straightforward and honest and has no filter to speak of. JJ, low-key, chill dude who tries to be friends with everyone, friendly, nerdy Asian who loves woodworking, anime, D&D, and eating traditional Japanese food that his family has perfected over generations. Todd, the antagonist of our story, standing roughly 6'6", or standing at 6'6", roughly 350 pounds, although mostly fat compared to Steve, who is pure muscle at that weight. So you can picture this dude. He's shaped like me, but 6 inches taller. Socially awkward, and to his credit, he acknowledges it, but continues to do nothing to improve himself. Will always complain about how no one will sleep with him, and talks about all the married women he's tried to lure away from their spouses by stating he's a nice guy, and will treat them better. Terrible hygiene. His shoulders look like the Himalayas with the amount of dandruff that falls out of his greasy, unwashed hair. Constantly shows up to work with mysterious white stains on his shirt and pants and refuses to clean himself up to make himself look presentable. Hey, at least on Reika's shirt, the stains there are on purpose. It's the piss shit and coom. The piss shit and coom. I know. Riker, me, OP, I am 6'1", around 240, fairly good shape, but I do have some fat that likes to hang around my gut that refuses to go away no matter how much I work out, run, eat healthy, or cry about it. Yeah, I know how that feels. Pretty nerdy, but I do have many other hobbies that seemingly make me pass for a normal, rounded-out person. New cast member this post, Rose. A very pretty redhead that worked in our department sometimes. She is known as a floater, meaning someone who has moved around the hospital out to different units when they are short-staffed. Excuse me. Yep. Rose is very strong-willed and doesn't take shit from anyone. Pretty standard redhead. Rose stands approximately 5'7", with bright red hair down to her shoulders. She's about 105, soaking wet. She has a wicked sense of humor and could definitely give Conor McGregor a run for his money with how fast she fires off insults. All right. I'm going to skip this next paragraph because it's... Scene 2, Act 1. After Todd's first few hours of getting him settled down from all the excitement of the pretty girls he saw, he didn't have any real noticeable incidents until about a week later. Sure, Todd smelled bad, and as I described before, he didn't ever wash his hair, and the layer of crusty white skin chips was steadily growing with each day that went on. This guy could potentially have like a legit medical condition where he has like psoriasis in his scalp or something like that, but still, maybe do something about that. Todd would often make an awkward comment here and there throughout the day, but nothing so out of pocket until he met one of the nurses who often floated between departments, helping out wherever and whenever needed. The true nice guy came out of him near the beginning of the night on roughly his 5th or 6th shift. We were standing around talking as it had been a relatively quiet afternoon, and we were feeling a little relaxed. No one was dying, no fights were happening, and there was no homeless guy outside rubbing his junk on cars in the parking lot. Oh, that's so great. That's a whole different story for another day. We need this story. We badly need this story. JJ telling us all about a new D&D campaign he's running. Yeah, it's been funny having a group I can rely on that actually get together every week. They've all gotten really into the pirate theme of the campaign, and when I say gotten into it, I mean like the most inappropriate foul-mouthed pirates I could have imagined. Calvin. No, this is a... Oh. Hey, our group's pretty good. Okay. Calvin, so do you have any limitations on the game since pirate-themed campaign? Like excluding certain species or classes to try to make it more authentic? Nah, not really. I love player freedom within reason. I have one guy who's playing a swashbuckling warforged cleric whose sole purpose is to find enough gold to pay his deity's priestess to turn him into a real boy. He also thinks like by taking the skin from his fallen enemies and stapling it to his mechanical form, it will please his deity and speed up the process. Oh god, what are those necrons that like that do that? It's like the disease. Yeah, they get like a disease that causes them to go insane and like the flayed ones. And they staple the skin of their fall. Yeah, gross. We all butt up laughing at the horrifying idea of having a sword wielding robot come raiding your ship or town with bits of human skin dangling off him and yelling, "I'm a real boy! I'm a real boy!" Steve, oh holy shit, that's going to haunt my dreams tonight. OP, I think I just found out what my next character is going to be. Todd, I don't get what's so funny about that. Sorry. I gotta do the neckbeard voice. Todd, I don't get what's so funny about that. Why would a warforged have a deity, and why would he be a pirate? You should shoot that down. It's a stupid idea. Oh god, fucking gatekeeping. JJ, dude, it's a game. I don't care about things too serious, and yeah, it's a fucking awesome character. Honestly, his whole backstory has given me so much content to work with. I'm a real boy. Do you know the Muffin Man? The Muffin Man! Ah! The Muffin Man? The Muffin Man! Oh, that was the first one, right? Yeah, that's right. Because it was Lord Farquaad who gets eaten by the dragon. I think that's the whole. I think that was the point. Hey, Connor, just to answer your question, yes, I do plan to continue that comic. I've just kind of hit a wall with it when it comes to sitting down and actually doing the art for it. I have the script written out, and if I can never get myself to doing the art, I may like sit down and actually like just write it out as like a series of stories. But at the moment, it's been on hiatus because I'm trying to get this whole streaming thing going. Okay, let us get back to Todd. Okay, dude, I don't know if you're new or just lazy, but that's terrible GMing. No one wants that stupid robot in their game. Steve, Steve was the Aussie, right? Oh God, can I do an Aussie accent today? I kind of want to, but I don't think I can handle it. Steve, will you fuck off? It's not your game and not your character. No one cares that your daddy didn't love you enough to come back with the milk. I love Steve. I love Steve. So Todd opens his mouth to say something back, but Steve interrupts and says, "Let me stop you right there." He holds up his massive Australian kangaroo crushing hand. No one asked, no one cares, and no one ever will. Now, if you want to know what a kicked puppy looks like, that probably would be the best way to describe the look that came over Todd's face. His shoulders slumped, and he looked absolutely defeated. You can't say that to me. That's not appropriate. OP. Dude, you started it. You went after JJ's game and his friends. Don't be a dick, and we won't be a dick back to you. Just fucking chill and be happy. Todd huffs, glares at us, and storms off down the hall and around the corner. I could just imagine him like doing like the toddler stomp. No, this is the tale of Todd part 2. We finished the other story. It wasn't very good, so I moved on to a different creator. But where were we? There he is. Yeah. Walking down the hall. Pat. What the? Okay. Yeah. Walking down the hall past Todd towards Calvin. Walking down the hall past Todd towards us. Why does Discount Rocky Balboa look like he's going to cry? OP. Steve. OP. Steve said mean things to him. Steve, I told the truth. He can go anger masturbate for all I care. Oh my God. I love Steve. The group starts laughing again, but we are interrupted as we get a call for a trauma coming in by helicopter. With that call for the next couple of hours or so, we are busier than we have been all day, running around making sure that this high priority patient is taken care of. Everything finally winds down and we get our work. We get our work. He said walk, but yeah. OP. Finally sitting down after actually having to work for my money. I am so tired. Can I go home? JJ, you can go home if you give me a little kiss and some snuggles. Oh, I gotta give... Okay. Oh my God, you can go home if you give me a little... you know what? From now on, JJ's getting the stereotypical gay voice. You can go home if you can give me a little kiss and some snuggles. OP, don't tempt me with a good time. I will hop right over there and mount you if that means I can leave in 10 minutes. Why 10? I only need 5. Obviously, these two are just fucking around, right? Like, no. I think JJ's not Todd. JJ is one of the friends. They're just bullshitting. It is, yeah. From around the corner comes Rose, one of our floater nurses. Rose is a fiery redhead with a wickedly dark sense of humor and no filter to block the intrusive thoughts she has. Uh-oh. Rose, that's why you're single, JJ. You put in the full 10, you might actually satisfy a girl well enough for her to stick around. Oh, damn. OP. Oh, damn, JJ, do you want me to go and get some water for that burn? JJ, hey, I don't need a girl when I've got OP, or when I've got, what the, okay. Hey, I don't need a girl when I've got, Hey, I don't need a girl when I've got OP bending me over like that every time you see me. Rose, JJ, that was so... Just as she was in the middle of her sentence, we smelt the familiar, flavorful scent of slightly rotted garlic wafting down the hall. For those of you who listened to the story yesterday, that is the particular aroma that Todd carries around him at all times. When you start smelling like garlic, you need to bathe. Some people, if you start smelling like freshly cooked chicken soup, you need to bathe. Some people, that if I haven't washed for like a few days, I end up smelling like chicken soup. It's not a bad smell. It just smells like I've been slightly cooked. Hey, look, a strawberry. Oh, I love this next line. Rose, what the hell? Looks at OP. You just shoving whole garlic into your ass now? OP, don't blame me. Don't blame that on me. That's Todd. Before Rose can ask who I'm talking about, Todd comes around the corner, huffing and puffing like he just ran a mile. A bright sheen of sweat glistening on his forehead, and I can see 2 dark stains around his armpits. The smell of garlic is overwhelming. JJ, what happened to you? The elevator was broken, so I had to take the stairs to the cafeteria. OP, dude. Mom. No, I'm giving him the pseudo Cartman voice. That's my neckbeard voice. Yeah. Mom. OP, dude, it's 2 flights of stairs. How are you sweating so much? I forgot my wallet and I had to come back down and get it. Then, when I got back up to the top of the stairs, my phone fell out of my pocket and bounced all the way to the bottom. So I had to go down and come back up. I had to do it 3 times. I mean, even I'm not that out of shape. Jesus fuck. Like, I'm out of shape, but I ain't... No, it's not, but I'm not going to be drenched. I'm not going to be drenched in sweat afterwards. I may be a little huffy puffy, but like, Jesus fuck. Yeah, well, I mean, he is a fat guy going up to the cafeteria, so I feel like this guy would be able to keep vampires away though. Just then, Todd's muddy brown eyes made their way to Rose. I watched as he obviously eyed her up and down a few times, and then let out an audible "Oh, mama." Or so I'm gonna read that again. "Oh, mama," under his breath. Todd stuck out his sweaty hand, offering it to Rose. Todd. My friends call me Todd, but you can call me anytime. He did his best attempt at a sly smile, pleased at what he thought was the smoothest pickup line ever created. Now granted, it really wasn't the worst pickup line we've ever heard, but it was all but it all lost it sorry but it lost all of its charm when you're drenched in sweat, smelling like fermented garlic knots. I watched as Rose looked at his hand. Oh my god. Oh, this is so good. This woman is like, I would be friends with this woman so much. I watched as Rose looked at his hand, pulled out a blue latex glove, and put it on before shaking it. Todd grinned and held onto her hand a little bit too long. I love how she pulled out the fucking glove and made like a show of it. Like, that's just fucking gold. I can just imagine her like looking at his hand, then looking at the box of gloves, making a show of pulling one out, pulling it onto her hand, doing like the little like snap, and then touching him. It's like, oh my god. Oh. Okay. What's your name, my fair lady? I swear, if he had a fedora on at this point, he would have absolutely tipped it. Rose's response, taken. I usually like, what's your name, my fair lady? Rose, taken. Rose pulled her hand away and carefully pulled off the now contaminated sweat glove, throwing it away. Taken? You're going to be that rude and not tell me your name? Not when you call me fair lady. Besides, Riker over there is my boy toy. We're not together, and I have no idea why she said my name. Todd, his eyes darting over to me, his face a look of what I can only describe as a mix of disgust and rage. I see. Well, if you ever give me the chance, I can show you I'm a pretty nice guy. But I mean, like, no, but also just like, I know exactly the way I said it is I can guarantee is exactly the way he's like, I'm a nice guy. Like, he's trying to be sexy, but he obviously probably has like a lisp to his voice or something like that. And he smells like fermented. He smells so strongly they could smell him from more than 6 feet away. Like, if your body odor is that bad, and I have been to, like, all of us who have been to conventions, there is always that one person. I mean, like, I am so glad that certain conventions now are saying, if you're stinky, you're not allowed in con spaces. Like, I think Howell instituted that in their, like, terms of service this year. I can't remember, was it... No. You have. Yeah, like if your odor is Yeah, no. I can't remember if it was Howell or if it was VF. I know VF was talking about it. Like years ago, we were talking about like, hey, if you're stinky, we're gonna send you up to your room to go have a shower. And like obviously they're not gonna do it publicly. They'll just be like, yo, you stink. You gotta go up. Yeah. I mean, like if you're absolutely like because it's a private event, like. VF can totally tell you to do that too, by the way. Like any con can totally, yeah. And if like people complain, it's just like, no, look, dude, you gotta like, yeah, unless you got like some kind of medical condition that, like you have like one of those water allergies or whatever, you gotta go take a shower. I mean, are you allowed to make citizens arrests as a security officer? Well, okay. Yeah. All I can... Yeah. All I can do is, like, literally hold them. Well, because the hotel also has its own security that have the same training as you do. Oh, right. You have the level 2 training. That's right. Are, yeah, that's true. Um, I guess the next. I guess the next. I was gonna say. I guess the next step for you would be what, becoming a peace officer, right? Well, I mean, the only difference between what you can do and being a peace officer is peace officers can carry a weapon. And I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure your job doesn't require armed security. All right. So continuing on, because we still have more. Where were we? Todd smiles again, putting on his best friendly grin. I know I don't know you, but I'm excited for the chance to show you I'm worth it. Rose, Rose. I love this next part. I love this woman, by the way. Rose takes a step back. Yeah, I'm going to go. With that, she turns around and walks down the hall. Todd turns to me. How did someone like you get that gorgeous specimen? You're an asshole. She OP. Oh, we're almost done. We're almost done. OP. She just likes me because I'm autistic. Todd takes a deep breath. You don't deserve her. OP. Probably. She knows what she wants, though, and it's clearly me for some reason. Wink, wink. Whatever. She needs a real man. A nice guy. Someone who could protect her. Someone like, JJ interjecting. A knight? Todd responds, yes, I will be her white knight and I will save her from you. She will see that she deserves a real man like me that will treat her right and give her the kids she deserves. JJ, you'll be her knight in shining denim, which was the title of the previous part of the story. Oh, this is mean. This is me. This is Todd. Todd looks at JJ. Better than your stupid pirate robot. With that, he turns and walks off again. OP says they're going to stop at this point because don't want to spoil the next part for us. So we that is Sir Todd Part 2. Let's see if they posted another one. No, they don't have any more. They don't have any more of Sir Todd. Okay, we'll have to come back to Sir Todd another day because Sir Todd is amazing. So Army Beard kind of sucked. You sorry? I want more too. Okay. Well, this is a nicely. So I'm reading these cold. So if they're bad, oh well. But oh my god, you know what though, I love neckbeard stories. This is why I'm reading them. I actually watch these, like, people who read these on YouTube all the fucking time. It's one of my favorite background noises to have. So like, oh, my wedding horror stories, Bridezillas, those are always good. I love Am I the Asshole sometimes too. Um, yeah. Incel Tears also has some fun stories every once in a while. This one by Snoo Pandas 9894 called Gaslighting in the GameStop. This one picked me out because it is a GameStop story, and this person is a female working in a GameStop. So now, my experience with GameStops and interacting with the staff at GameStops has been pretty chill. Yeah, they tend to, it's brides that want everything, they want, yeah. Just, yeah. and you don't need to be one of those people that like wants to like absolute like control like their bridesmaids being like, oh, you gained 5 pounds, well, you're out of the wedding. You're uninvited, or everybody has to wear the same color shirt, or you won't be able to come into the wedding. It's a lot of the bridezillas nowadays, I think, come from somebody going Noom. A lot of the bridezillas, I think, nowadays come from people wanting their weddings to be Instagrammable. I mean, like, then there's, yeah, like my wedding was literally like literally like 6 people that we went to a pub afterwards. Like honestly, when financial things are better, we definitely want to have like a big ass party. Because like I don't, I want to celebrate, and maybe, I mean, at this point it's gonna be Shadow and I's 10th fucking anniversary. At this point, I was hoping to have done it by now, but I ended up losing my job. But I'm glad that we had such a good time at our wedding, and again, like, if you guys are ever down in the city for, you don't have to, but like if you guys are ever down in the city, over the Labor Day weekend, in the future, we'll all go out and we'll have a little celebration. Because yeah, we got married Labor Day weekend. It was great. You're gay. Well, it was the day after Labor Day. No, it was the day before Labor Day. We got married on the. No. No. Oh, fuck you. We decided. We. We wouldn't have had a Halloween wedding, just because it's Shadow's mom's birthday is also Halloween, so. Oh, ha, that went right over my head. So, whoosh. I thought you expected me to know. September 4th is mine. Which is funny because my mom's birthday is like literally the day after. So I can combine the celebrating. It was like more like I'm getting married next day. Happy birthday, mom. But it was nice because we were able to celebrate. We were. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, Kit. Aw. Our officiant was awesome. She really like did a lot to help with all like the legal stuff, especially, and did a beautiful ceremony. And we had like, it was pouring rain when we were doing our ceremony. We were like huddled under this gazebo, but it was an absolutely like this, as we were doing the ceremony, the sun came out and it cleared up. And I don't know if you guys know Maple Ridge at all, but we had our ceremony right at the Haney port there, where the Billy Miner pub is. And it's like we were right on the Fraser River and all that, and it was beautiful. Yeah, and so Shadow and I actually really even haven't even had our honeymoon yet, just because I kind of want to make it special and stuff like that, and it's like, yeah. I mean, the honeymoon was just, yeah. Lame. Yeah. Well, who wants more neckbeard stories? Hey, you're enjoying it. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Oh, Jesus. It's funny. Oh, that's funny. Ooh. That's absolutely great. I remember once when I was working at the pizza restaurant in my hometown, because I've worked in two different pizza. Now I want pizza. Anyways, who wants to donate money to me and get me pizza? Yeah, frozen pizza is not. It's not the same. Ooh. Anyways, as I was saying, I'm working in the pizza. I'm working in the pizza place. I'm cutting. I'm at the back of the oven cutting some pizza, getting ready to put it in a box when a little tweaker boy comes in. He's obviously a tweaker. He was like twitching and talking really fast, and he holds up what I would later discover was a very small Swiss Army knife. And he goes, "Give me all the money in the till, man." And I'm like, I just look at him. I turn around and I hold up the massive 18-inch pizza knife that we have. And these things are swords, like they're curved fucking swords. And I hold it over my head and I'm just like, "Get out!" And I sort of like lunge towards him, and I mean I'm like a good 20 feet away from him, like I'm on the other side of the store, and he looks at me and he goes, "Sorry, man," drops the knife. He drops the knife and then fucks off out the door. Like, I'm not a small dude, like I'm a big guy. I'm a big guy, and at that point I was in really good shape. So like, bro, like I could have whipped that knife at him, grabbed the second one we had on the table, and still like took him out. My boss got mad at me because I didn't just like give him the money in the till. But if he had like pressed it, I would have done it. But like, dude was like the little tweaker boy with like a tiny little like 4-inch knife. Now I mean you could do a lot of damage with a 4-inch knife, but I had reach on him. Oh no, it's fucking. I love that fucking. I love that story. Fuck you, Matt. It's not the size, it's how you use it. Yes. You are purdy. So, let's read some gaslighting at the GameStop. Number 5. Oh, everybody knows that voice too. Oh man. I love how like even like some of the big YouTubers make fun of that dude now too. Gotta go back to make sure I'm reading. I'm actually reading my chat this time because I get distracted and I don't read my chat. So, and so we dig into my beard-laden past. One of the biggest beards was in my life attached to me in my early 20s. That was some bad grammar, and I apologize. I, 36 female now, was a weird one growing up. I had been playing D&D and computer games with my father since before my teens. During the time I commingled with the beard, Joe, male 40s or 50s, I was living in a northwestern state and managed to find a game shop literal blocks away from my apartment. Oh, I gotta give my printer a second. I'm prepping for VF, so I'm printing stuff, so it's just making a lot of noise. Okay, it's done. Here I started walking over to play in the assorted night events like Adventure League, board game nights, Magic the Gathering Fridays, and the rare D&D game. It was a lot of fun, but the craving began to gnaw at me. I wanted a campaign that I could sink my teeth into and grow and develop a character. Enter Joe. I had, of course, seen him in the shop during assorted events. He was very hard to miss, corpulent and notably aromatic. I do like that word. Like very, very fat. Like fat to the point of being disgusting. Like you see those guys where they got their belly hanging out their shirt and stuff like that, right? Like if I didn't know how to Matt, if I didn't know how to dress myself, I could be corpulent. Because I'm fat, but I do know how to dress myself, at least. He seemed like a really nice guy, but guy with unfortunate physical attributes. The beard itself was thick and untamed, and he always dresses in slop pants or shorts with a food-stained t-shirt that had holes and a musty odor. His personality was jovial, and he acted like a generous person and took me in when it came to Magic the Gathering and D&D. So it sounds like a guy, you know, from what this description, it sounds like me, this guy is kind of gross, but generally a nice person overall. I know people like this. They have very little sense of hygiene, but they're actually a pretty decent human being. Although I have a feeling because this is a beard story, I feel like this is going to get... Yeah, I feel bad for this person. In the beginning, things are great. I would walk down to the card store with my decks. I had 3 I was playing around with at the time. For those with interest, one was a blue-green counters, another was a black-white angels, and the third was a green-white population deck. I don't know Magic enough to know about that. I want if you don't. I mean, you don't really have to. Yeah. Yeah, I've kind of figured. I would like to get into Magic one day, but yeah, I know. Yeah, I don't have the money for it right now. He would spend hours with me going over the decks and tweaking my cards, teaching me how to get a realistic count of land versus cards. Y'all know the struggle can be real. Yeah. I used to play Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon pretty much religiously. Magic... No, but I understand the you know, the deck tweaking. In the beginning, things are great. Oh, wait, we already read that. As of this time, Joe acted as more of a mentor than anything else to me. Things were awesome. I have almost no social acuity, so this was fantastic. It was the first time I had a social life in a couple years. I wish I had just left things there, enjoying the separation from Joe, and the game shop was there for me to visit. But I fluffed up. I accepted the invitation to go to his house for more in-depth Magic the Gathering lessons / trades, and help start a second edition D&D game. Suddenly, yep, you crossed the line with the beard. Suddenly, I went from meeting Joe at defined intervals to being at his home for what seemed like every day. He has two daughters from two different relationships, and suddenly I was meeting them and their moms when the girls would be brought by for his time. Okay, still nothing too red flag. There's some yellow flags here, but nothing red flaggy yet. We began D&D, and I started with a fun character named Widget Berry Slicer, the gnomish rogue. I learned very quickly that Joe was used to playing Iron Man, and he was a very punitive GM. And she was basically killed by the second session because of a few roles and a lot of GM decisions. Okay, cool. So I make a healer. Meet Clary Sage, the druid. She did not get murdered in the second game. Phew. All right. Now we have a weekly D&D game in addition to Magic the Gathering Friday and pre-release events, etc. My whole social life started to orbit around the game, shop, and by extension, Joe. Things were going really well. We began to explore the D&D world. Soon, Joe decided that he would start cooking dinner for D&D, and the players just needed to put in $5 to eat. This was a great deal at first. Slowly, Joe began to ask me to pick stuff up on the way to his house to cook for the dinner. Keep in mind, I still had to pay the $5 to eat it after purchasing the ingredients. Okay, shitty, but meh. Fast forward to about month. Yeah, the flags are slowly going from yellow to orange. Fast forward about 4 months. I am now usually picking up ingredients on the way to his house, and he has me doing the cooking now and loading up the car. He would carpool. Yep. Ding, 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 ding. This guy's taking advantage of you. We would carpool to the game shop, and not going to lie, those trips were rough. The car was always dirty with food wrappers, and his personal body scent was so very thick. I've been in cars like that. I mean, my car has like a garbage bag with a bunch of food wrappers in it, which I need to actually take out right now, but I try to keep my car at least somewhat clean. Once at the shop, I would be the one to unload the car and get set up and set him up throne style at the table, because that's what he had trained. Not sure that's the best word. I'd give him the $5 to eat, then set up the food I had purchased and cooked. We would play, and then I'd go back to his house, about a 30-minute drive, and unload the car before I drove back home, passing the game shop to get there. Some nights he would have me stay the night. Ooh. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this person's like over 18 at this point. But yeah, this does sound like this guy's trying to groom them. Joe had some pretty severe health issues that I won't go into because they are not mine to share. He would have me assist him with medical stuff that he had difficulty with. It was unpleasant because of the odor and having to touch things. By this point, I'd conned myself into feeling that this was just normal, and he eased into taking more liberties with my person. Things were being pushed into a very not safer work direction. I was very impressionable and in deep dislike of myself and major depressive disorder diagnosed. For all intents and purposes, I was becoming a waifu. Oh. A few more months pass, and with meds, I'm finally starting to realize this was actually not okay. It took me a long time to work up the tiny bit of backbone I could muster and let him know I was starting to feel taken advantage of. Not only was I purchasing everything and doing the cooking and then paying him for the privilege of eating it, he informed me it was not his fault about this and that I had started taking over the cooking, so he left it alone. Ugh. This guy's just taking advantage of this poor woman. He said that he had to charge me so that the others in the group found it to be fair. I was told I was being high-strung and dramatic. Oh, there's the gaslighting. I backed down. He must be right. He was older, wiser, and he had been so kind in offering his help on anything gaming related. So I backed down and apologized for being rude and maintained the status quo. As somebody who has generalized anxiety, and the status quo is the safe bet. Like, honestly, I don't like blame this person. No. This guy is the one that is the shitty part. Okay, so we do have a bit of a timeline here. So they said they're 36 now. This was in 2012. So they have it. You know, that was 13 years ago. So they would have been 23 at the time. I stayed in that situationship for almost a year. I did manage to ease away from the not safe for work material, but I was still cooking and paying, making card trades for Magic the Gathering, watching the kids when they were over, etc. I finally escaped the neckbeard nest in 2012 and have grown a little emotionally. I am still socially oblivious, but now my GF, 36 female now, Wolfie, helps me navigate those waves. I moved away and started fresh, still trying to nurture and grow a backbone, but so far I have not had much luck. Maybe I have a black thumb? TLDR, socially inept 20-something-year-old woman discovers a game shop and is chosen by a neckbeard, gets groomed and conditioned to support him, and gets gaslit constantly to become a gamer girl waifu. She moves across the country to escape. Neckbeards push her firmly into a lesbian relationship, and that has and will continue being nurturing and supportive. Well, at least this one we had a nice happy ending. I'm really glad that they were able to find a partner that's super supportive. Oh, no, that is a bot. We will. We will ban them. Ban. I got a bot, you know? Yep. Sorry, you. Gay. Oop. 1 second, I'm getting a phone call. I'll be right back. I am back. So I just got a call back from Save on Foods for a job interview tomorrow. So I'm gonna have to move. I'm gonna have to move my stream time for tomorrow. I just gotta write that down. Sorry, I'm just writing it. Just a cash. Yep, exactly. It's out. It's out. It's out at UBC, so unfortunately it's going to be a bit of a drive every day, but I mean, it's not a big deal. It's not that far, so um I can't. It's impossible. Like there's just nothing. There's nothing. Yeah. That or I'm just completely unhireable because I guess my previous company might have a bad reputation or something. I don't know. Um, but I just need something. Yeah, exactly. I don't have the 500 or something dollars it costs. It is. Plus, yeah, but then they'll pay you minimum wage and expect you to work 80 to 100 hours a week. And they won't hire me because certain skin colors. Yeah, because Paladin's known for that. That's the problem. That's the shitty part. Yeah. Or maybe it wasn't Paladin. Maybe it was the other one. What's the one that does it at Metrotown? Yeah, it doesn't matter. Anyways, back to the streaming. Back to the neckbeard stories. Let's find another one. Be gay, do crime. Oh my god. I used to be a neckbeard. This is a long one. Ooh, here's a short. I think this is a short one. Yeah, this is a short one. Okay, here's a short one. And then I might go take a little break to go get some food. Because all I've had today is coffee and gamer subs. So. All right, so this one, Neckbeard Kisses My Hand at Work by Throwaway653129. So, obviously a throwaway account. This is about an experience that I, 21M... Hold on. This is about an experience that I, 21M, had at a temporary job with working at an event for Easter Bunny photos around half a year ago. I only remember it well because I doodled some of my experience. Ooh, this person's an artist. I like. One of the days I worked was in the costume, dancing around while my coworkers chatted with some guy who had stopped by. So they were obviously in like a bunny costume, like Easter Bunny costume, like a fursuit, basically. I couldn't see him very clearly, nor could I hear much, but I did hear something about him joking about hunting the Easter Bunny since he hunted occasionally / often. I played it off like a joke because it sounded like one by covering the bunny's head with my mouth to show surprise. 2 days later, I was dancing around out front while one of my coworkers was in the suit, and in comes a man who I think is Amish. Oh dear.
Okay.
He had a beard and no mustache. His outfit was a completely black suit with a blue tie and a black scorpion pin with a blue decorative gem on it. He walked up and said something along the line of, "You were the one in the Easter Bunny costume." After I expressed my confusion, he clarified he was the guy who joked about hunting the Easter Bunny. Oh, okay. That seemed rather normal for me at the moment. He was probably just chatty and recognized me by how I was dancing. Fair enough. We chatted a bit, and I showed him some of my doodles. In turn, he began talking about how he was a beginner in tattoo art. Oh, no. He's got the suit.
Oh, no.
He's got, like, the beard, and he is a self-proclaimed, air quotes, artiste. He suggested giving me a tat himself after I mentioned being interested in them, which I thought was a joke. Cool, we were both into art. I let him give me his numbers on my paper since I didn't encounter many other artists around there, particularly due to being only at home except for work. He had 3 numbers: his regular, his work, and an extra to build credit. Weird.
Oh, no.
It was a little weird now, but I was giving the man the benefit of the doubt. I was pretty sure he couldn't be interested in me. Oh dear. So, by the way, OP is male, as they said. So, I mean, not unusual, but yeah, here goes. So, yeah, oh no, oh no.
Wait, so they're being flirted with by another guy?
Yep.
Okay, just wanted to clarify.
So
right.
it continues. It continues. Oh boy.
Oh no.
Yep.
I like that. Oh boy.
We shook hands, and he ended up holding onto my hand and bringing it to his lips to kiss the back of it without asking first. Of note, my coworker mentioned he had a fedora on. I never noticed. Honestly, I should have guessed he was interested since a lot of people mistake me for a woman. I only recently started socializing more once I got myself to the point I was confident, so I was very inexperienced with social norms at this point. I think this person might have been homeschooled. After the incident,
Maybe.
I made sure to use sanitizer on my hand and throw away the part of the paper with his numbers on it. It gave me the heebie-jeebies for a day after that happened. My hand felt very dirty no matter what I did, and to this day, I don't really like handshakes. Not much else to say.
Yep.
It was a weird encounter. I never saw him again since I don't work at that part of town anymore. Wow. Wow.
Gross.
That's oh. Whew.
Yep.
You narrowly avoided being sucked into the porn industry.
Well, it's funny because like this guy.
Sex.
Oh God, I love this title. Okay, I'm gonna take a quick break to go grab some food. I'm just gonna go grab a quick snack. Maybe.
I'm magnetizing my night.
Cool.
Sweet.
Yeah,
and then
I have a cereal night.
All right,
So-
I need to check to see what
actually,
they
you know
wanted
what?
for-
I'll wait to food. Let's do another story. I'm really getting into this.
You're
And
invested.
I'm invested in these stories because these are fun. All right.
You're fun.
This one by Life Economist 4992 called Rocket Penis Beard. This is why
Whoa,
this
that's
is
a great name.
this is why I chose it, because of the title. I don't know if this is going to be any good, but this is going to be fun. Oh, it's a Tinder story too. Oh no. Thought femboy. Hey Taylor, your chicken wings are being delivered by Riley, not me. Okay. So, we matched on the Cursed app, and he asked me to come and meet him. I prefer to meet people in person early on rather than texting, so I suggested a popular coffee shop. He said no, because he didn't drink coffee. I suggested a
Red
pub.
flag.
I suggested a pub.
Burgers get free.
He said he doesn't drink. I suggested bowling or the arcade. He said nah. Finally, I suggested
Red flag.
Yep. Yeah, this guy's looking just to get some jerk-off material. That's all it is. Finally, I suggested he chose a place with things that he liked. He suggested an empty park near my apartment complex. I told him I didn't feel comfortable.
Crimson flag.
Bleeding. I told him I didn't feel comfortable meeting there because it's not a public location. He suggested we meet outside in a crowded cafe or restaurant, as long as we didn't go inside. At this point, I realized he was concerned.
Crimson flag.
Yeah, I realized he was concerned I might expect him to buy me a cup of coffee. For the record, I wasn't expecting that. I was just a bit irked because he could have just asked me to split the bill. Honestly, I'm of the opinion as well. It's like, okay, first date, unless somebody offers, the expectation should be to split the bill. I mean, it's just fair.
Oh,
Yeah.
you sweet summer child. He is not worried that you're not going to pay the bill. He's worried that he's not going to be able to date rape you.
Or, like, make out on the first date. So, eventually I agreed to this, not sure why I came to meet him. I had a shift before our date, and I told him at the time I would be available. He texted me he was leaving his house right before I left work, and I told him I'll see him soon. He arrived at the location half an hour early, then texted me that I was late. Oh, another red flag. I corrected him and said, "Well, I told you I was leaving. Why didn't you I corrected him, and he said, "Well, I told you I was leaving. Why didn't you come sooner if you knew I was coming?" I pointed out to him I have no idea where he lives or how long it would take him to get there, and I was very clear about my shift's finish time. I turned up already pissed off because he kept texting me every 2 minutes about where he was. I nearly turned around and went home.
As you should have.
I arrived and was looking for a tall, athletic guy with short hair and a beard. I looked around and didn't see anyone matching that description. There were 3 guys playing basketball nearby, and they asked if I was looking for someone. I told them yeah, and gave them a brief description. They looked confused at each other and said there was a guy who arrived about a half hour earlier who sat on a bench nearby. I looked where they pointed, and sitting right there was the guy who looked nothing like his profile picture. There is nothing wrong with a person's look changing, but there is something wrong with using pictures so old you are unrecognizable. He had been sat there the entire time watching me look for him, wearing dark glasses, trying to strike a seductive pose on a bench. Draw me like one of your French girls, Jack. As I got closer, I realized he was wearing gray sweats and a disgusting fleece jacket in the hot summer heat.
Ugh.
There is something wrong about people who wear jackets in the heat. He smelled like BO.
Okay, where do you want to meet? How do you know he's interested in you if he doesn't show up to your front door?
He smelt like BO and old food. He had a patchy beard that had been filled with acne, poorly cared for teeth, and one of those anime keychains clipped to the zip of his sweaty fleece. Oh, this guy's probably got it like done up too. Gross. Oh, I approached not even
sure. Wearing sweaters is gross. Just let me don't
no,
look at me.
I'm just saying, like, if it's 30 Celsius out, I ain't gonna be wearing a fucking jacket. I approached, not even sure if this was the right guy. He took off his glasses and introduced himself. God, he did the whole, like, cool guy glasses thing. He then told me I was late. The mannerisms and tone of this was supposed to look like a stoic anime businessman character. Oh, God.
Wow.
But he just looked like he just looked cringe in his $2
cringy.
plastic glasses and stained sweats. I corrected him again, slightly ruder this time, and also pointed out that he had watched me look for him the whole time and not said anything. I work with kids. I know how to use "I'm very disappointed in you" voice, and he apologized. We sat on the bench for about 5 minutes talking. He told me he loved anime, games, and Japanese music. Oh dear. He's an otaku.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No. But
nothing wrong with being a weeb, but as long as you're not a creeper too.
Yeah, but I mean, the rest of the package is... Yeah. He also told me he went on the date because I looked like a character from a game he likes.
That's a bad start.
Oh, he then tried to adjust my top, aka touch my boobs. I told him not to touch me. He sat next to me and behaved, but kept trying to cuddle me, and I kept reinforcing my boundaries.
Go find the basketball players. They'll beat them up for you.
He asked to kiss me, and I said no. I just wanted to make this date last at least 20 minutes so I could leave without feeling too bad. He then kept trying to initiate a kiss, even though I told him I wasn't interested. I could smell his teeth every time he got close. Not food in his teeth. His actual teeth smelled like cavities.
Falling says, which is worse, jacket in summer or a hagao sweater in public?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
When 20 minutes were up, I told him I have to go, and we both stood up to leave. When he stood up, I realized he had an erection.
Ugh!
He was fully hard in a public place surrounded by people. I went to walk away, and he tried to follow me and asked to give him a ride or give me a ride home. I told him that I could see his erection and to leave me alone.
Yep.
Yep.
So now we know what the title is referring to now. He said, I'm sorry, my dick is like a rocket ship. I knew the punchline.
Oh, God.
No, he did fucking not.
I knew the punchline would be like, because it goes up so fast. But being angry, I asked him, so you are telling me your penis is deformed? Oh, he shouted back at me, I don't have a deformed penis, in a public park surrounded by children.
Oh
So
my fucking
that was a
God.
good one. That one had some good payoff. Oh, that was delicious. Mwah. Oh,
I agree.
that payoff at the end. Oh.
Wax
Here's another.
fucking
Oh, this one's
fun.
really short.
And then everyone clap. This is the most painful stream I have ever listened to.
Yeah, but it's one of those. It's the painful stream, but you love it.
People like this are why I am scared of dating. I don't. Yes, honestly, I don't have a reference for the sweater. Thankfully, though, I haven't dated anyone weird. I have dated narcissistic assholes before.
I don't know. You dated me. I'm pretty.
Yeah, you're pretty fucked up.
Pretty fucked.
Reddit stories where there's
Share
a
'em.
glorious payoff, but
Red
it probably
flags.
didn't happen. True.
That one
There's a possibility.
That one I can definitely see happening. Like that's pretty. I mean, that one's pretty realistic. This one is the same person. It's the same person, and this one's called Neckbeard Burns His Penis. This one's really
Wow.
short. This one's really short.
Neckbeard's deserved.
Whoa. Oh, yeah.
Okay. I just read the TLDR, but I'm gonna read the whole story to you guys.
I like the
My ex hated sweet food. He never kept anything sweet in the house and hadn't eaten sweets since he was a child. So one day when he called me crying, wanking and covered in raspberry pudding, I was a little shocked. Why are you cry wanking?
Have you never
Why are
heard
you
of the
calling
sad
your
wank?
ex because you're cry
Yeah.
wanking?
I think they might have been together at this point. I asked him to explain what happened, and this was roughly what he told me through the sobs. I'm going to read... and actually, no, I'm not going to do this. He had got bored of using his hand to wank and thought that sticking his ding-dong in a bowl of pudding would feel much better. So he went to the store,
Lord.
found the dessert section, selected a victim, came home, read the instructions, made the dessert, let it set in the fridge overnight, reheated it, and then stuck his ding-dong in it.
Why would you reheat it?
Why?
Oh.
Because he wanted it to
Now
be...
I know how he burned his penis.
He wanted it to
I
be
already
warm,
know.
like a woman, like a lady.
I already know how he burns his dick.
Yep. An interesting thing about raspberry pudding is that at a boiling point it's a liquid. When refrigerated, it's a solid, and when hot/warm, it's an incredibly sticky, viscous substance. The combination of warm pudding and hot penis had left him essentially covered in raspberry-scented super glue. Upon realizing his mistake, he started to rapidly lose his wood. However, as his penis shrank into itself, he realized that his foreskin was essentially gluing itself to the shaft. So that's how he ended up calling me crying, covered in pudding while desperately trying to maintain a semi, not sure of what to do. He was fine, he just had to lay face down with his dick in the washing up bowl for a while. Oh, I mean, that's
my Lord.
like that's awful. Poor guy. But
No.
self-inflicted.
I mean, I don't know how this guy qualifies as a neckbeard, though.
No,
Like,
but it's still funny.
There are qualifications to being a neckbeard.
Still funny. I
Imagine
love.
cry wanking in the shower while listening to somebody I used to know. Thank you for the sacrifice.
Uh,
Thank you.
I'm gonna read a couple of these comments because they're hilarious.
Yeah, because my only thing with that is like,
One.
why is this guy considered a neck? I have no neckbeard activities here.
The OP did say that this story doesn't showcase much of his beardy behavior, but it gives a flavor to the type of stories I could write if people are interested. So essentially, the guy was beardy, but this isn't like, yeah.
So they're fishing for likes before they start posting neckbeard stories.
Pretty much, yeah. This was the first story.
Which is honestly more neckbeardy than being a neckbeard.
Whatever. It was still a fun story. I love these comments. I miss who I was before reading this.
5.
Okay, let's choose another one. I'm having a lot of fun doing this.
Hello, Kobe.
Fun is not the term I would use.
I'm having a great time.
The timing of the water sound effect.
Oh, geez. White Knight dips a toe into kidnapping. Yeah, we'll skip that one.
5. Okay. So that is this commissione done.
Yay.
They wanted to be hugging each of their friends basically. And then the uppies.
Yeah, this is a short one.
Mike is reading some, well, we're just going to say horror stories. They're pretty bad.
Neckbeard Reddit stories. I'm having a grand old time. I don't know what you're talking about.
Right, we're going to save the layered file for this.
The Weird file?
Layered file. I don't want to lose my layers.
All right, so this one...
Layers.
Here's a really short one. This one... these short ones aren't necessarily as good as the longer ones, but I'm just trying to keep this a little... moving a little bit here. So this one's called Jim Beard and His Waifu. Oh no. So we got a Jim Beard. Okay. So I was dating this guy for like a month. I like nerdy guys, so when I saw his picture, my first thought was it might be a gym bro thing. Which I am personally rarely into. Sorry, I'm going to restart this. I was dating this guy for like a month. I like nerdy guys, so when I saw his pictures, my first thought was it might be a gym bro thing, which I'm personally rarely into if that's really the main passion or hobby because I can't relate at all. But then I read his bio, and he was very into nerdy stuff. Warhammer, LARP, video games, manga, you named it. He
Warhammer.
He super liked me, and I was intrigued. So we matched and started seeing each other. So yeah, this is definitely a Tinder story. I won't shame the guy for his nerdy hobbies. Like I said, I actually like that, but I don't think that's what makes him a neckbeard. I'll focus on the cringy, creepy, and funny stuff, but I want to add, as a side note, he did have a katana. Beware the katana, ladies. I only know one generally cool guy who has one, and that surely isn't him. The neckbeard... The neckbeard traits were a bit more subtle. The neckbeard traits were a bit more subtle the first 4 dates. It was a bit much and a bit cringy that he described himself as a lone wolf. Said that he loved darkness and always had rotating dramatic drawings of sulking knights as his profile pictures as a grown-up man who turns 28 next week. It was giving edgy teenager, but I looked past that. The breaking point that was so creepy and random was on our 5th date, second time I slept over. We were cuddling in bed, and after we woke up with no warning, no intimate touching, no eye contact, no nothing, he started wanking. He had his arm around me. I laid there in dead silence, unsure how to react. I brought it up after breakfast, and he said that his ex was into it, and it was my fault for not stopping him, or I could have joined him since his body is a buffet.
Flag.
I have nothing wrong with a partner. I personally have nothing wrong with a partner like jerking it next to you if that's acceptable in your relationship, but this is obviously only the second time they've spent the night at this guy's house. And so, that's not a relationship yet. You're still dating. Like it's not a long like if you
Not okay at that point.
yeah, like sometimes you don't want to do it and you just want to get off. That's perfectly acceptable. Rub one out if your partner is next to you. Like if your partner doesn't want to join and you just need to get off, that's fine. Like whatever. Like as long as you're okay, as long as your partner is okay with that.
As long as it's been established, yeah, in your relationship.
But this
that's
is
okay.
way too early in the relationship.
Like you said, that's not even a relationship.
Yeah. I talked to my closest friends about it, and they validated my feeling that he should have asked since it was so random. And I politely texted him about it, explaining how I felt, and that I think we need to communicate consent differently in the future, and that we can talk about that the next time I see him. Next time I see him, and he ghosted me. But that's where the best part came in.
He handled that really maturely, actually.
Yep.
He didn't. He just ghosted her.
No, he didn't. We said that they.
Oh yeah,
the
yeah,
other person did.
yeah, absolutely. It's like, hey, let's talk about this. I like you. I don't feel like this is a deal breaker. Let's make it work.
Yeah.
Right after he ghosted me, he put a K and an infinity sign as his Instagram bio, and sure enough, a couple days later, he posted a story of a doodle of a Princess Kida from Atlantis, his favorite Disney movie, in his story saying, "I think she's cute," and then proceeded to frame the doodle, put it on his desk, and putting that in a highlight, he said, "I love you," in Japanese characters. This 27-year-old man has an imaginary waifu to deal with how I politely called him out for wanking next to me out of the blue. Oh, and he also has a new passion project every 2 business days. He wanted to be a streamer, a podcaster, then an author, and now he wants to make his own manga, which, that's not that bad. But the
Don't call me out, man.
the immediately going to the imaginary waifu after your sort of girlfriend dumps you and you ghost her. Like
I was gonna say she didn't even dump him. He ghosted her.
Well, that's what she like. Yeah, that's right. Sorry, yeah, you're right. That's pretty neckbeardy.
That's pretty fucking sad.
Yeah, that's pretty sad. Okay, so this one, I'm gonna move on to another one. I'm having a great time reading through these, and I'm really enjoying
That
this.
one's all right. I like
Tactical nuke dodged. Yeah. I swear I didn't fuck it. Oh, what the? Okay, so. Hey guys, what are the symptoms of a salmonella infection?
Ness is reading it out right now. You can't hear her. I think she muted herself. Or she did a thing where we keep talking to each other, but we're not coming through on the stream.
Yeah. Yeah, she muted herself.
We are silenced.
I'm almost done with this night.
Tactical nuke dodged.
I just read the
Ayo.
I just read that post by Falling there, Reika.
Yep. I just read it out.
Oh my
So
god.
funny.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Where is my
Oh my god.
Oh my god. So I am going to need to take a break in a second because I'm going to need to go get some more tea. My voice is starting to go.
Thank God. I mean, that sucks.
You would not be here if you weren't having a good time.
I'm here
He's
to
here because
support
I am.
I'm here to support my loving wife. The torture is not required.
Oh, come on. This isn't torture. This is gold.
It's torture.
I
love cringe. Okay. So
See,
this
the problem,
These
I'm
horror
okay
stories
with
are also
cringe,
good.
but the problem is it's still cringe.
Yeah. It just
may
makes
be
me feel
good cringe, but it's still cringe.
makes me feel better about myself though. So,
But you
It's like
said
salt-
more.
It's like salt and vinegar chips. They're delicious, but they still make your tongue bleed.
yeah, like eating warheads.
I like salt and vinegar chips.
Love salt
Oh,
and vinegar.
actually, that's a very good question. What's your favorite chips?
Favorite chips? I'm probably going to have to
favorite
go for
Doritos.
barbecue Doritos.
Regular. Those are the superior Dorito. Anything less is terrible.
I like pizza Pringles.
Pizza
Pizza
Pringles.
Pringles are fucking amazing.
Art time with Reika featuring story time with Mike.
Yes.
It's
So,
our flavor? Sour cream and onion. Ooh, I like cream and onion too.
Yeah, sour cream and onion's pretty good. That
Yum.
used to be my favorite flavor, but I really...
I
Oh, the sweet
I like
chili heat
the
Doritos are
cheddar-
also really
cheddar
good.
and onion.
Mm.
Cheddar and onion. Ooh.
Ooh, jalapeno cheddar. Yeah, those are good too.
Sour cream and onion, yeah.
Actually, pretty
Are
much
amazing.
any Doritos flavor except for those ketchup Doritos were
Jalapeno
really good.
and cheddar Doritos. Ooh.
My non-tortilla favorite chip though definitely has to be ketchup chips though.
Oh yeah. Ketchup.
We're so Canadian. All right.
All dressed.
So-
All dressed.
All dressed are pretty good.
All Dressed has ketchup in it. It's what somebody told
That's
me
because it's all dressed. It's dressed with everything. If
Well,
there's
not-
a flavor, it's in there.
not everything. It's barbecue, salt and vinegar, ketchup, and sour cream and onion is usually the flavor profile.
Oh, no. It's all dressed. That means it's dressed with everything. Every possible flavor known
You're
to man
dressed with everything.
is in that chip.
Me.
So who wants some more cringe?
Oh, can we have something nice? Can we have
No.
nice things?
Not
No.
today.
Not in this economy.
Oh, no.
I mean, we could check out r/memes for a minute. Oh no, let's you know what? Yeah, let's have a
Canadian
let's have a-
ketchup chips are good. Yes.
let's have a palate cleanser and look at r/cats. Ooh, cat video.
You're a cat. Yo.
I can't turn off the cat generator. Oh, your baby's coming out of a watering can.
I thought you were going to say coming out of a bigger cat.
No, that's not the kind. Oh my God, there's so many kittens in this watering can. 6, 7, 7 kittens in a watering came out of a watering can.
Mike equals the femboy of cringe.
Rate my cat. Sir, your
Rate
cat
my
is
pussy.
adorable. And he is also chunk. Not super chunk,
Lots.
but oh Lord, he coming. Aw,
Yeah?
this kitty's had a hard
I
life.
dropped peas.
Aw, I want a kitty.
It's okay. I caught it with my wiener.
Is it a bird?
Whoa.
Is it a plane? It's a kitty. Slow-mo cats.
What the fuck?
Watching cats in slow motion is so great.
Yeah, we watched funny pet videos. Lots of stupid cats. All kitties are 10 out of 10.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Just like all puppers are 10 out of 10.
No. I'm kidding.
Friends off,
I love
Michael.
I love dogs.
Michael, you are in trouble. I won't say your actual full name on stream, but Michael.
Do you know my middle name?
That I don't know. I know your last name.
That's fair. Oh my God, this
Make me dad voice, you young.
anyone
I'm pretty
else's
sure
cat
I
turn
am older than.
No.
no, you're not.
How old are you, Mike?
I will PM you because I don't want to say out loud
That's fair. Well-
because if yeah.
That's fair. I don't care. Oh, shit.
I thought his first name was Dragon, middle name Man, last name Mike.
Yes.
Dragon Man Mike. See, it just doesn't come off
Ooh,
the tongue
more
as hard
cat
when
video.
you're trying to use the dad voice, though.
Doesn't
Fucking
sound
magnets!
Fuck a magnet, that's not good for you.
No, I'm trying to magnetize a model.
Does that mean you're putting magnets into it?
Yes. So
Okay.
when you make a knight, if you put magnets in it, you can create it so that instead of only being able to make one particular version, you can make multiple versions.
Nice. I like this. Ralph is a true gentleman. Be like Ralph. This is Ralph. He comes to collect our cat for playtime every day and waits outside for her like this, and he's waiting outside like a proper little gentleman. I love it. Oh, he's kitty. Oh, no, we don't want to read that. That's a sad one. Meet Waffle. I found Waffle in a Waffle House parking lot. It's like, I love this. It's like, this is Reginald. He's a purebred Doberman Haversham and costs $2,000. These are my babies, Chonko and Fuckass. I found them in a dumpster and I love them more than life itself.
Sounds about right.
Yep.
My name's Jeff.
My name's Jeff.
I want a kitten to choose me. So people are like, I found this kitten on the side of the road.
I want the cat distribution system to happen to me.
I also love how the city of Istanbul is like a cat haven. Like they feed and take care of all the like the semi-feral cats that are around the city. Like something about Turkey. Turkey loves animals. Who dares message me? Ah, yes. So yeah, I am. So yeah, Matt, I am older than you.
Not by much, but
No. Imagine a quiet place, except the monsters are cats. Oh man, if you're on my stream, you gotta see it. It's so great. Oh, look at this pretty Maine Coon. Oh, I love Maine Coons. If I was to get a purebred cat, I would get a Maine Coon. I love Maine Coons so much. Oh my god, him as a kitten!
saying if you want a kitten to choose you, you have to go to where kittens are
Oh yes.
with the intent to purchase a kitten.
Well, I would just like
Or steal.
or adopt, because I'd rather adopt a cat. She straight up lied to me, told me it was dinner time, and it was roughly 45 minutes early. I bought into it. Look at her. She does this at dinner. Tonight, I wasn't paying attention. Cat manipulated you to get fed twice.
I'm older than all of you. Yeah.
I don't know. Oh.
They're in
Possible.
their 40s,
Oh, okay. I'm close, but...
if I recall.
Ooh. My kitten's making me feel better. Oh, look at the baby.
I'm old enough.
Oh,
I feel like my bones make me feel like I'm 82.
I'm 84
Oh, I see.
years old.
Right?
I'm gay.
Oh, that is a big...
I thought you said I'm gay.
That is a
Well,
big pussy. Holy shit. Oh my god.
Michael,
What?
language.
You don't shame people for having big pussies.
My stream, I can say what I want. If
You're
Reika wants-
also talking Reika's stream.
Yeah, fair enough.
That's right.
And in my venerable presence.
Yeah.
Nya, 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 nya.
Let's see. Let's go to art.
Shut up,
that's,
Kit.
That's not the right...
Yeah, go get shaved again. Someone shave Kit again.
On it.
I have glue on my fingers.
You snooze, you lose. You wanted to be in here. You had to get here sooner. I love you, Cass. You're not older
There
than
we
me.
go.
I was born in the year of our Lord.
Ah, yes, good, thank you. Shaven must remain shaved. That's right.
Lord.
Yeah, magnetizing is not a very fun process, I'll be honest. Like,
Yeah.
I actually love putting together models, but the trick with magnetizing is, so you have to use super glue to get the magnets. In some cases, you have to actually, like, I've had to adjust things to get it the way that I want. So, like, I've had to use bits of the sprue to make the mount for the magnet, basically.
Yes.
Which is,
Sounds like
and
you
then,
have a shave kink.
Oh, whoa.
Yes.
So, I have a little comic for you. I've switched us over to r/funny for the moment. Mother and child. I didn't say that. Yes, you did. At 2:37 on January 3rd, you said I could stay up this Saturday. Mom, fine, but did you clean your room like I asked? I have no records of that. Lol.
Wow.
Pretty legit.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. The other thing with magnetizing is you need to make sure that your magnets are all facing the right direction.
Oh yeah.
Good luck. I'm
Oh
not
my
sure
god.
you have to get super lube to get them in.
Super lube.
That's
Yeah, you
pretty
gotta
funny.
dig them out.
Oh my god, I love this shirt. It says paddle faster. I hear banjos. It's a fucking Deliverance joke. I love it.
Yeah, no, it's still like it's still relatively enjoyable,
Ooh.
but like, cause I actually really enjoy putting Warhammer 40K models together. But I'm also like, so I've had to be very careful because I'm not just trying to magnetize it to itself. I'm trying to magnetize it so that this knight and all its bits are compatible with my other knight and all its bits. So that way my knights and their bits are interchangeable. So that way if I want two of the same or whatever, I can do that. You know, like I can, if I want them all to be different, I can have them all different. If I want them all the same, I can have them all the same. And I can mix and match parts in whatever way I want without having to worry about, you know, is this going to fit? Is this not going to fit? Oh, that's not from this night. That's from some other night.
Ooh. Oh shit. Oh my god. Oh, VR fails. Oh. Oh. Oh, the TV. Oh. 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 Oh, child. Oh. Oh no, fishies! Oh! Oh, oh! I was just reacting to a VR fails video, and I fucking dying.
Eating room temperature Costco pizza in the vet. Hell yeah. I heard a tank full of Tetris. Tetris! Sorry.
Sounds about right. No, tetras are a little fish, but you can get them in all sorts of different like colors and patterns.
I'm sure they know now,
You
but
can even get ones
they're
that
just
glow
saying
in the.
what they
You can even
heard.
get ones that are genetically engineered to glow in the dark.
See, I don't need.
Aw, that's cool.
Yeah, they spliced like some squid DNA or something like that into their genetics.
But the nice thing is tetras, though, they're super compatible with other fish.
Yep.
And you can get a fuck ton of different varieties of tetras.
And
so I
they're
just want
cheap.
a tank full of. Oh yeah, they're dirt cheap. I want a tank full of tetras, and then just like a big algae eater to help keep the tank.
Maybe a couple snails too to kill
Yep.
to augment the algae eater too.
Used to have 2 clear
Right,
Tetras
like-
and some rainbow ones. Aw.
Oh, okay.
Oh, the rainbow tetras are so cute. Tetras are cute.
What's your hometown scandal? Math teacher got fired.
I
He was
like
the coolest
the-
guy. He was
the-
this
I think
rock
they're a type
metal
of goldfish
band.
where
But
they
some
have the
girl
big
got mad at him
bulging
during
eyes.
class and flipped him off. And he was like,
I
"Put
like
your
those
shower
'cause they
toy
look
away."
stupid.
And then he got
Oh,
fired for it.
man.
Where they're like,
And the
"Oh,
whole
you're
class
so
laughed.
ugly, you're
Ran to the
cute."
principal. Like all these people are protesting. They're like, "You can't fire him."
You can't fire him. That was
Oh man. Okay, so just watching this video, just a recap for Reika's stream. Dude, math teacher, like, takes no shits. Girl in the class gets mad at him.
He doesn't poop?
Funny. Girl in the class flips him off, and he turns to her and goes, "Put your shower toy away." Gets fired.
Ah, well. can't really make those kind of comments to a high school student.
Oh, so somebody edited T-Pain's Wikipedia page, and it says birth name Tylenol pain relief.
There we go. Now we just got your models to build.
Yeah. I finished building all of my Death Guard.
Oh shit!
Nice.
Oh, kitty!
The
Well, except
battle
for-
box or whatever it's fucking called.
Oh, he's so chunky.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just need to
All right.
put together Mortarion for you now.
Oh, that's wild. It's a fake palm tree in California that's got a cell tower on it. That's cool.
That's smart.
Yeah.
That's weird.
I mean, it's not. It doesn't blend in very well, but it's better than if just like an ugly cell tower.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Down.
Oh, he's a pug. I love pugs. I would never own a pug, but I love pugs. Ah, needs more sauce for dumping. The dumping sauce. Oh, that's a cute name for pet snails. Slow lane snails. That's cute. The
Alright, spit
old
check all my
exploding
stuff.
golf ball trick? What the fuck?
My dad's golf ball with one of those exploding golf balls.
Oh my god. Oh my god, I
It's
know.
about to explode.
What was that?
Oh.
You slipped one on him, huh? When did you do that?
Oh. Oh my god.
Snaps. And
Eh.
it's fine.
Oh my god. This has become pretty commonplace now, but back in the day, Girl Scouts selling cookies next to a weed dispensary.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, like I
It's
remember
fucking smart.
when dispensaries first
Weed?
became a
Weed?
thing, there would always be like Girl Scouts selling cookies like right next door to the dispensary.
Well, there we go. My second night is complete.
Okay, we're going to do another story time.
His bits. I need to spray paint it, but I can't do that yet. I need got more. I need to
Paint?
pick more. Another can of the metallic. Well, the metallic. I found a metal paint that works really nicely with Warhammer 40k models. So I painted all my knights, my other knight, and my 4 armor.
Nice.
So now I have 2 knights and 4 armor.
I actually found a really good paint mix that makes stuff look like polished steel. It's
Nice.
Yeah, so you base coat it in like a medium gray. A medium cool gray. You want to add a little tiny bit of blue into it. And then
Okay.
Once that's dry, you mix silver paint with a little bit of pearlescent paint. So like stuff that's got like that sort of pearlescence, and it looks almost identical to like brushed steel, especially if you like only brush in one direction.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like
Cool.
yeah. I just discovered it completely by accident. It's about getting the cool gray underneath, and then adding washes of the silver pearl mix. But
All right. Well, I'm gonna go upstairs for a minute. I'll be right back.
okay, who's
Alright,
ready for
so,
another cringe?
Introductories. So from left to right, below me is my husband, Kit, who also streams. Which, by the way, if you want to shout out yourself, please do, because I don't want to type. And then Dragon Man Mike, whom you are well aware of.
Oh, I've become infamous apparently.
No, it's Taylor Jackalope.
Oh yeah, no, Taylor follows me.
Because
Okay.
I actually think they found me through your stream.
I think so. There, I'm shouting myself
Yeah.
out. But who's ready for some more cringe?
Yes,
All right.
yes, yes.
So I'm just positioning my microphone. Give me a second, because I leaned back in my chair a bit.
We're drawing more MTG proxies because I want to.
You should draw.
Sexy nun.
You should draw one of my character. You should
I
do
don't mind drawing proxy cards for my friends if
I
they
mean-
can find a card.
That's true. I swear we should use
Because there's a lot.
we should use the Femboy Hooters art. So, it's okay, Zakumas. I'm about to read a neckbeard story. You're not going to be hungry in a minute. So, this happened a few months ago while I was waiting for a train home. Although most of my university buddies are from different cities, none of them take the same train as I do, which means I mostly travel alone. I don't know why, but a lot of people tend to ask me for directions, so talking with strangers while I wait for the train isn't that unusual. This time, however, I was sitting alone and not paying much attention to the people around me when somebody suddenly says, "Hello," and sits right next to me. Thinking this is another person that needs help, I politely say hi and wait for them to tell me where they are going. Then, out of nowhere, this guy just casually grabs my hand and kisses it like he's some kind of knight in a medieval movie or something. I can't even describe how much I felt my skin crawl while his nasty dry lips made contact with my arm. I've never experienced something this gross in my life. FYI, from somebody who has heard these kind of stories before, that is sexual assault. Straight up sexual assault.
Sneppy, my usual.
I was honestly in so much shock that from that moment, I didn't even think of getting up and leaving. For some reason, my dumb and polite brain stayed put. I just honestly didn't know what to do, so I just sat there talking to the guy and trying to think of something. Spoilers, I didn't think of anything and instead listened to his weird-ass life story about how he was returning from his girlfriend back to his wife. Yes, this greasy bastard apparently had a wife that he was openly cheating on and felt completely comfortable with telling all this to a stranger. Filters, people, filters. If that wasn't weird enough, he politely asked me for my age. I didn't tell him my exact age, just that I was in my 20s. And how old was he, may you ask? He was 40. Once again, no shame in admitting that to a random girl he just met. After that unnecessary information dump, he complimented me and proceeded to ask me for my number or if I want his. At that point, I just immediately shot him down, straight up telling him that would be weird. And I left it at that. He tried a couple more times after asking, "Are you sure you don't want my number?" And I turned him down every time. Right after that uncomfortable exchange, I heard the intercoms announce my train would be arriving at a different platform from the one I was waiting at. This seemed like the perfect moment to escape this creep. But what do you know, he followed me to the other platform. And on the way, he told me he was taking the same train. Luckily for me, he wasn't getting off at the same stop, so I would have to just survive the train ride and then I'd be free. But a miracle happened while I was looking for my reserved seat. I found my seat, and to my horror, the seat right next to me was empty. I could see it on his face how happy he was to sit right next to me, but as soon as he sat down, a girl came over and said that the seat he was sitting in had her reservation on it. In the end, he got up defeated, and thanks to the train being absolutely packed with people, he had to go look for a free seat in a completely different car. I sighed in relief and quietly thanked the girl for saving me from that creep. After that gross experience, I was happy to talk to someone normal on my way back, and I purposely left the train on the opposite side so I didn't bump into that creep again. Lesson for anyone who travels alone: always be around a group of people, or better yet, have a friend with you to prevent these creeps from getting to you. It was short and sweet, but Jesus fucking Christ.
I had a similar situation, minus
girlfriend?
creep talk to me, because it was when I was at Guildford, actually.
Oh, yeah.
And I went to go get on a bus to go home. This was when I was like a teen, so I was fucking young. I lived with my parents still, okay? And I noticed this. Now, like, no offense given, but this guy looked like a fat guy who was like 40 to 50
Oh,
that lived
God.
in his mom's basement, and he just looked gross and creepy and disgusting. Okay. And I got on a bigger bus that is well known for the city, basically, and then got off and then went to walk to get to one of the smaller, lesser known buses that literally drives you to like smaller locations. Okay. He followed me
Oh, God.
from Guilford onto the big bus, followed me, and followed me onto the little bus. I refused to get off that bus and I called my brother. And then finally, I think he heard my phone call, which I wasn't, I was deliberate with it. And he finally got off the smaller bus. And then after that, I got off and then went home.
Arr.
It was, it was creepy.
That's super creepy.
He was following me. I was fucking scared.
Oh, that's super creep. Super creep is super creeping, yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, let's have another one, and then I'm gonna go have a pee. Actually, I'm gonna have this one's a little long, so I'm gonna go have a pee right now. And so I shall be right back. Be right back. Don't touch that dial.
I touch it.
Touch it.
Bitches.
Blood.
I'm back. All right. So I have a
Did you die?
no. I just had a
Do
big
you have
pee.
hemorrhoids now?
I do not. I have no idea where that came from, but okay. All right.
You're
So
welcome.
we've got a bit of a longer story. Oh, this one's really long. Nice. But this will probably be the last one, and then I'll probably I'm probably going to call it after that. We've been going for quite a while, and this one's going to take a little while to read, so. Oh.
The DVD perk roulette is exactly what it sounds like. It makes me do a perk roulette when I play DBD.
Thanks for the follow, More Blood. Much appreciated. Welcome to the chat. I am Dragon Man Mike. Today we're reading Reddit bullshit. But I'm a variety streamer. I stream art, I stream games, and I usually am in here hanging out with Reika, who's in the Discord with me. And Kit.
Taylor, that's horrendous. I don't like that. I'm so sorry. It's so bad. Oh, let me see here. Let me look at my channel points here. So cold. Yeah.
So cold.
Let me turn that on, and I can turn that off. There we go. I just don't turn the DVD shuffle off because I'm just too lazy. And I'm like, if anyone just redeems it, I just when I'm not playing DVD, I just refund the points.
That's fair.
But Fuso likes to do it every single time just to be all like, hee hee, you have it on. I told them next time they do that just to mess with me, I'm not refunding their points.
Lol. Okay, let's read this story. It's going to be a nice long one for you, Reika.
Oh. Oh no.
So this all takes place back in the year of 2016. In a long time ago. My first year of high school. In my homeroom, I had made friends. Oh, I'm going to start over because this is called Skinner, the little neckbeard that could. So this takes place back in.
For porn. Sorry.
All right, it's all good. So this takes place back in the year of 2016, my first year of high school. In my home, my first year of high school. In my homeroom, I had made friends with 3 others around me, and these people were Jessica, a redhead with a love for hot rods and a knack for cross-stitching, Saint Jameson, lol, the tall, lovable pothead that was a whiz with at anything history, Skinner, the slowly developing neckbeard, had a few screws loose, and was an honor student. Me, I was called Doodle, as I was always drawing little doodles on things. Now that you know the group, let's start off with how things first began with Skinner and my 4 years of purgatory with him. He was a cool dude, loves D&D, Lord of the Rings, and anything sci-fi and fantasy. He was in all honor classes and was amazing at writing fantasy stories. If he didn't end up where he is now, he could have been a successful author. Though the screws loose kind of made this genius an outcast. Skinner was a shy and very soft-spoken with a stutter. He came from a rough home, which caused him to have PTSD and severe anxiety. So he wasn't a very social creature. It took a bit for him to fully come out of his shell. Plus, it didn't help that he had bad acne, even if he was getting special medicated creams for it. It seemed he didn't use it all the time. He had long hair that was pulled back into a low pony, and always looked greasy. Like, not gel greasy, just oily greasy. He had glasses that were always scratched and looked similar to glasses Carl from Up had, but a thin rim on all the lenses. He and the beard part of him were patchy mutton chops that avoided his chin and face and would go straight to his neck. And from the title, he was a scrawny guy, but he always claimed he was just lean. In his free time, he would make small daggers and such as he was a blacksmith. So this guy has skills. I'm like, okay, this isn't too bad.
I mean, awkward teenager years, you got greasy hair, it's going to take you a while
Yep.
to figure out your shit, right? Like,
But
my son, he's got greasy problems too, but it's not, like, it's just figuring it out.
But I think this greasy hair might have been from lack of hygiene, because he also said he had really bad acne, but didn't use his stuff. Oh, well, hi, been lurking in their stream and had to swing by. Well, thanks, More Blood. I appreciate it. I'm definitely appreciating all the followers. We're now only 11 followers away from the 50 follower goal.
So fucking close.
I know.
And then we can harass you more.
Yes, I'm gonna have to figure out how to do that. I might have to switch programs for my VTuber model, which is freaking out. Holy shit! Actually, why am I always leaned slightly to the side? What the hell? Reset position. There we go.
I need to find my old art of this character so I can double check the fucking earring.
Settings, expression settings. I think I'm gonna. Oh, that's why.
I see.
Is it just because of my glasses? No, I don't know why my character keeps looking surprised, but I mean, it kind of suits it for the. Yeah, okay, it's my glasses. Maybe I should just turn off the.
Yeah, glasses mess with the tracking sometimes.
Toggle.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll have to figure that out later. So now on to the real meat and potatoes of the story. In the early days of knowing Skinner, he was a cool guy. Me and him bonded over our shared love of Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. Oh,
Okay.
Lutz Love Puppy. I know that person's
Lily.
in your Lily. Okay, Lily, thank you for the follow. Much appreciated. All right, let us find. We now have 40 followers. Woo! And we could talk about, in the early days of knowing Skinner, he was a cool guy. Me and him bonded over our shared love of Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. And we would talk about D&D and the animes we had recently watched and such. And it was safe to say that he was my first friend in high school, as me and him had other classes outside of homeroom. We had the same lunch together, so we would hang out from time to time or skip our lunch and play computer games in the library. But later that year, I started to know some things about him. Here come the red flags. Here come the red flags. Although it's kind of funny because the next sentence. He would talk about the Communist Party a lot and say that our government could learn something from them, and that some of his stories he would write also had very communistic sites and ideologies in them, which is fine. You're young, you're trying to like figure out your ideologies. Pure communism is, now we're not talking about like Maoist communism or Marxist communism, but like pure communism is actually a great way to live, is a great way to run a country. Pure communism, not Marxist communism or Leninist communism or Maoist communism or Cuban communism, any of those things. They don't really work. But I'm getting off track because I took some sociology classes in university. Hi. I sort of brushed it off as it could be he was just being edgy as the Trump and Putin memes were on the rise. 1 second. My 3D printer was doing mean things to me. This could have been the telltale sign of his future, but the group just thought it was Skinner being funny or just being a horny teen. Fair enough. I missed a sentence. But then he started to voice his opinion on who he found attractive in classes. This could have been the telltale sign of his future, but the group just thought it was Skinner being funny or being a horny teen. Again, Skinner, St. Jameson, me, and two of our other friends, Kirby and Ness, they are the Smash Bros. Nerds, founded the video board and card game club in our school. We were fairly popular with students coming around and playing on the consoles we brought, board games, and even the random D&D and Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon card games, etc. we would play. We were very accepting of all who came, whether it was for the whole school year or just randomly every blue moon. So we had the gamer girls come in or girls tagging along with their friend group after school just to hang out and such. As long as you didn't cause a problem, you were welcome to stay all you wanted. Jameson, Skinner and I were made to be tutors for anyone who wanted to learn to play a game or card game. Jameson was video games, Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh, Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh. Skinner was Magic and D&D, while I was board games and Pokemon. We helped anyone who wanted to learn, but Skinner was picky on who he taught. Uh-oh.
They gotta be hot.
He would only tutor you in the game if you were, in his words, competent enough to know what the game was. Insert SpongeBob boy meme. And he would mainly want to teach girls how to play, even sometimes forcing them to learn if they were just hanging out with others, not doing anything. We had talked to Skinner about it, and he just said, "Well, I'm sorry for trying to get people more interested in the club than just freeloading here." Fucking Christ.
Whoa. It's a club. Get over.
You're in high school.
yourself.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
Where were we? Jameson reasoned with Kirby and Ness, who were the president and vice president of the club, not to kick him out, as Jameson would keep a close eye on him and correct his behavior. They agreed, and Jameson was true to his word. But on the days Jameson wasn't there, it was my turn to babysit. Ugh.
Oh.
I didn't mind it, but it was hard for a guy like Skinner to really retain anything a girl like me would say without staring at her like she was a piece of meat. Now, I will say this about me. I was a chubby girl. I was bullied by every name under the sun for being fat, but my fat went to the right places, as now my husband says. The boobs, the butt, and the thighs, it was hard to ignore the guy staring at my chest as I was, let's say, just above a double D cup. But enough of that. So in other words, she a big curvy girl. You know, it was my type, but you know. When I had to keep Skinner on his short leash when Jameson wasn't around, it was a hassle. It was like telling a dog to sit, but the dog was deaf. One instance, I was teaching some new members how to play Pokemon at a table in the back while Skinner was next to me, just watching over the rest of the club. Then a girl I knew walked to the back. Let's call her Honey. She was a friend I had made in my history class, and we had a lot in common. And she frequented the club every blue moon with her boyfriend, who is an avid member. Cool. She came over to me while we chatted as I taught. Then the sound of bones rattling closer behind me could be heard, and the shuffling of a double-sleeved magic deck could be heard like a fucked-up neckbeard serenade. Who's your... Oh, okay. I gotta read this in a certain way. Who's your friend, Doodle? This is Honey. She's a friend of mine, I said, trying to keep the convo as short with Skinner interacting with Honey could be. Yeah, I'm just here with... Honey was cut off by Skinner. Why don't I teach you how to play Magic, and then we can get to know each other. A friend of Doodle is a friend of mine. It was obvious he was trying to flirt, but poorly. He didn't put enough perk points in his charisma with that one. Lol. Honey was visibly not wanting to go. No thanks. I'm not into these card games, she said, trying to walk back over to her boyfriend who was at one of the mini TVs playing on the PlayStation 1. As she started to move, Skinner made his advance. Oh, come now. I can teach you things no one else can. The words dripped out of his mouth like sludge, and the dirty river spirit and Spirited Away dripped onto the floor in the bathhouse. Skinner, she doesn't want to learn. Leave her be, I said, now having to fully pause from teaching these guys to now handle the creature that I then called a best friend. Doodle, let me handle this. I can keep her interested. It takes a man of class to really show a lady how it all works. The shit-eating grin on his face was enough for me to stand up with him and get in between him and Honey. Dude, that's enough. Leave her alone. She said no. Now stop. My voice was being a bit more stern and loud enough for Ness up at the front at the TVs to hear. He looked back and came over. Now, Ness was not a fit guy, but he wasn't short either. He towered over both me and Skinner. Skinner was 6 foot, while I was 6'3". Is there a problem back here, guys? I knew that Ness had to get involved. It meant we fucked up. I looked over at Skinner, and he was watching Honey slowly sneaking away to be with her boyfriend. Skinner scoffed upon seeing Honey sit next to her man and hug his arm. No, not anymore. His voice now bitter as he went back to the table and sat down. He fiddled with his cards as he festered in his upset. I love that sentence. I explained to Ness all that happened, and now I had it under control. Ness appreciated me standing up and controlling Skinner, and how if he did it again, Skinner would be given a warning. Whew. To this day, I don't know why I still called Skinner my friend. After that day, Jameson, Kirby, Ness, and I all kept a closer eye on Skinner and his behavior, especially around girls. We definitely kept a close listen to the things he said, no matter how incel-sounding or out-of-pocket it was. Now, let's do a time skip to the last month of our freshman year of high school.
Oh.
Now, at my high school, we have a prom, but we also have a non-schooled event called Freshman Finisher. It was a party held in the part of a small town that was right next to the open fields of tall grass. There, a part of that was nothing but a dirt patch about the size of a football field or smaller. I live in a small town in the south where everybody knows everyone and tradition is tradition. The reason why this freshman finisher was a thing, as it was stated due to the amount of kids who would flunk out of college and go to work on the oil rigs in the ocean, chemical plants, or go into the army. Townspeople did it to celebrate the ones who still stayed in school after the freshman year, and since then, it has been a long-running tradition. That meant all of the group, Jessica, Jameson, Skinner, and I, were all going to attend. We had been waiting on this since the middle of the school year. The bonfire, the party, the games, and the barbecue was all going to make this year worth it. Jessica was going with her boyfriend, and Jameson, and Skinner were all going solo in the group. The night of the event came, and we all piled into Jameson's mom's van and made our way to the outskirts of town. We laughed and had fun jamming out to the music, picking up some drinks of our own. Getting there, we saw the fire department setting up the bonfire, while everybody else was enjoying the food, games, and music. We spent the early hours of the evening enjoying the food, had some fun winning prizes at the carny games, and danced till our feet grew sore. Then it was time for the bonfire. The bonfire is used to help everyone move forward in life and give you motivation. You take a piece of paper and write down something you want to achieve by the time you graduate, or what college and degree you want. You plan or what college and degree you want to do. So the bonfire was lit the second the sun set, and it was night, and slowly everybody was tossing their papers to end the night. When my group of friends got our turn, we talked about what we wrote down, and we tossed it in. Mine is just hoping to get into a good college for engineering, Jessica said. I just want to live in New York. Seems chill there, Jameson. I'm just hoping to get into art school no matter what. As I said mine and we all tossed ours in the fire, we saw that Skinner hadn't done so. He was hiding his paper behind his back. What about you, Skin Man? Jameson said as we all looked at him. Mine's complicated, he said in a rather nervous manner. Like he was afraid of it. But in the blink of an eye, we see him pull out his hands behind his back, and what we thought would be a piece of paper was actually a thick, and I mean thick, pile of paper. Like, it shocked all of us, and even a few others were there by and saw him chuck the fucking book of his wishes and hopes into the fire. As we stared into the fire, watching his paper burn, we all looked upon him, shocked, like the scene in Has Been Hotel Pilot where they watched Alistair being demented as hell. Nice. He looked at us and looked like we had just caught him in the act of something dirty, like a kid getting caught looking at a porno mag or something. He sat there in silence a bit before Jessica piped up that it was getting late and it was time to head home. The ride home was like we didn't just see Skinner throw a book into the fire, dropping off Jessica and her boyfriend first. Then me. On the drive to my place, Jameson broke the ice. So, Skin Man, what did you write? Give us a summary. His voice was calm and cheery like his normal self. I was in the front seat and turned to face Skinner. He sat there nervously twiddling his thumbs. It looked like he was trying to find the words. Hello. Was it really complicated, or was it just a long list of all his hopes and dreams? You can tell us, Skinner. We're your friends. I said also wanting to know, but also hoping he would open up to us more. Another moment of silence came, and he let out a sigh. It's just a whole thing I have for us. That's all I can say. Where is it? This boggled my mind. I glanced over at Jameson, and we both had the same confused look. What do you mean? What do you mean by that? My voice now worried on what he meant. And if it meant us together, like he was gay or he's wanting a polyamory thing. It's not like that. I just want us to be friends and junk. He was starting to get upset, and we kept probing. He was starting to get upset that we kept probing, and so we finally drop it. Well, I hope we all stay friends, man. You guys are cool. Jameson spoke as a way to ease the tension, and that is all I remember from that night. This was a dose to the end of freshman year, but it was only a getaway of what was yet to come sophomore, junior, and senior year, along with the graduation interaction. That's the end of the story here. So I gotta wonder what this guy wrote in that fucking book. It's deleted. I want to see if there's more of this. I clicked away. I don't think there is.
You're welcome, Dream.
Oh no, there is more. There is.
Dream says microstories are killing my manhood. Please stop. Like, I feel shame in being a man hearing this.
I think we're going to stop for today. With the stream. I think I'm going to end my stream today. My voice is getting a little froggy, and but it's been I've been having a really good time. But
Wahi.
Wahi. But we will consider next time. Printer's done. Seeing as I have a Gerb interview tomorrow, I will not be streaming until at least the afternoon tomorrow, if not at all tomorrow. I know. I gotta change.
You're welcome for me playing the right music.
I know. So I have just a basic job interview tomorrow, but I mean nothing's guaranteed, obviously, but could definitely affect the stream schedule, at least until I can start. I might do streaming in the evening after work or whatever. I'm gonna be like whenever I'm not working, if I do get this job. I'm hoping I do. I mean, it's gonna make things a little more complicated, because I'll have to figure out what to do for VF. Hopefully, I can.
Call in sick.
Well, no, I'll just make it clear that hey, I've got this event set up right when I'm doing my interview. It's only 3 days.
A great influence. Call in sick.
Bitch. But I think we're going to go to the outro screen. We're just going to hit the just chatting so that nobody has to stare at the
Don't forget
horrors.
to raid. Always raid out.
Oh, I'm going to. I know what I'm
Oh,
I know what I'm
okay.
doing. Who's where's
That's
my-
the first beginner mistake.
Yep. No, it's I've
Always raid out.
definitely gotten a few followers from raids, that's for sure. But I think let's see, who can we raid out to? Oh, I'm gonna raid out to my old friend Hex, who's also streaming.
I just remember something. So I've been trying to make friends when I started looking for buddies, people that I could hang out with online. I made myself a rule, basically. The no doxing rule, like, no brainer stuff. Don't say your name, etc., etc. Yeah. However, I've broken one of those rules recently.
But I am going to end my stream here, everyone. So you all have a great afternoon. I'm going to throw you at my friend Hex. He also is a streaming. I don't know what he's doing right now, but because I've got the Twitch muted.
Oh. Oh.
Anyways, have yourselves a good night, and we will talk soon.
Oh.
Hi.